But when you want to learn, then there's a flow. When you know everything, you're constipated. We are not constipated in Onpassive.
You say so.
Look at the amount of learning that we are learning. And this is coming from somebody who is reliable, and he has put it in us to learn. When you know everything, you're constipated. When you know everything, you're constipated in Onpassive. When you know everything, you're constipated. Constipated. We are not constipated in Onpassive. When you know everything, you're constipated. When you know everything, you're constipated. We are not constipated. Constipated in Onpassive. You're a constipated human being in Onpassive. You're a constipated human being. It happens little by little. Onpassive. That's constipation. There's no flow. Constipated. There's no flow. Constipated. There's no flow. Constipated. There's no flow. When you know everything, Onpassive, you're constipated. We are not constipated in Onpassive.
Karma's a bitch. Queen of Karma.
Hello, everyone, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you're all having a fabulous, amazing day and that you're comfy. Get comfy if you're not comfy. We're going to be here for a little while because we are going to be doing a deep dive into Ivy Mix. For those that don't know, Ivy Mix is an ONPASSIVE O founder who has been present at a lot of the Heroes webinars and a lot of the O-Tech Pros webinars. And she recently did quite the rant on an O-Tech Pro webinar that we're going to be taking a look at. But before we do that today, I'm going to say hello to all of you, and we're going to get into who is Ivy Mix and why does she have an entire city? What's going on with that? Good to see you, Joe. Joe also says, attention founders, please limit the emojis. They make YouTube think you are bots. And Violet is here. Good to see you. Hello, bimbos and bimbros. I like bimbros. We got to keep that. Hello, Lutfer. Ping hand waving to you, too. ONPASSIVE Brand Laxative says, I'm on special at Rexall Drugs this month. So be sure to go to Rexall Drugs and get your ONPASSIVE brand laxatives today. Hello, Salami. Good to see you. Hey. So Ivy Mix is quite an interesting character here in ONPASSIVE. This is her LinkedIn page. And you'll notice it says Ivy Mix. This is her. Medical Spiritual Director and Pastoral Ministry. She's from Littleton, Colorado in the U.S. And you'll notice that here it says Ivy Mix City, and then it says Primus University of Theology. We'll get into that in a moment. She does use her LinkedIn quite frequently. About every couple of weeks, she's commenting or posting in there. Hello, May. Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So she is quite active in it, as you can see. Like, she posted a month ago. She posted a couple weeks ago. So she's in there. She's doing her thing. Now, let's just take a look at her experience. We'll start at the beginning. So Ivy Mix starts off in her life. Hello, Mark B. You love Ivy because she's bonkers. We're going to see a lot of that today. So get ready for that. She starts off, it looks like, as a senior managing director of something called Ivy Furnishings and Supplies, which sounds like her own business. It seems she's been doing her own thing for a while now. She did that from January 1997 till December of 2007. And she says, brought exquisite taste of furnishings to residential homes and offices, expertise in wood paneling and wood floors, managed skilled workforce for renovation of buildings, dealt in paintings, artworks, and a huge selection of exotic live potted plants, not animals, so calm down. I know you heard the word exotic, you got a little upset, not animals, live potted plants. So there's that. I wonder if she helped pick out the furniture for the new office in Egypt with ONPASSIVE. Then she was a director of Life Quality Homes from October 2008 to October 2010. Couldn't find much information on that, like to do with her. Then she became a pastoral and spiritual care manager. And that was from September 2009 till March of 2024. Pastoral care and manager in healthcare, chaplain, spiritual director. So, that's interesting. Hello, Elangier. I hope you're having a good day. So she did that for 14 years, 7 months. And then you're going to notice Total Business Solutions, Ivy Mix. This one, pastoral and spiritual care manager. That's also from Ivy Mix Incorporated. So this is about the time that she decided to open up her very own LLC. And then you're going to see from September 2020 to September 2024, she's a founding member at an international AI company. And this is ONPASSIVE. So she joined ONPASSIVE in September of 2020. The last thing on her resume here for experience is Director of Pastoral and Spiritual Care, Memory Care Manager. And that's with Ivy Mix City. She's been doing it full-time since March of 2014. And it says specializes in community outreach, spiritual development for the aged, sports, and medical institutions, multi-generational ministry, and living. So it sounds like she's into being a medical doctor, right? She says she works with medical institutions and specializes in community outreach. But as you can see, it says she's a director of pastoral and spiritual care, memory care manager. And you see, hello, Sherry, good to see you. I hope you're having a great day. And you see her Ivy Mix Inc. is a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So is her Ivy Mix City. For example, this is a video that she posted a year ago on her channel. She does have her own channel. It's very small, though, so you can see. And it is Ivy Mix City with the hashtag.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Today is...
Oh, we're getting there, Mark.
Ivy Mix City Day.
Okay.
Why Ivy Mix City?
Yeah, why?
We have to think bigger than we are, because we are meant to look after more people than ourselves.
Okay.
We are meant to realize and fulfill our dreams. We are meant to enjoy our lives. It is very sad when we see people just waste away. So before, there was no way, but now there's the way. And because there's a way, we are taking advantage of it, and we are taking advantage of it very quickly. I started helping a lot of children just out of compassion, out of the prayer.
Could you explain to me how having a YouTube channel is a scam? I'm just wondering how a YouTube channel that sticks up for consumers' rights and goes after scams is a scam. If you could be more specific, that would be great. Because if you ask me why I think ONPASSIVE is a scam, I can give you several different examples. In fact, my entire channel is full of them. But you would have to be more specific. What scam am I allegedly promoting? What am I selling here? The only thing that I tell people is, hey, if you want to become a member and help me make better content by donating to the channel, then you can do that. So, you know, again, what is negative about protecting consumer rights from companies that break the laws, rules, and regulations? If you could be more specific, what is negative about protecting consumer rights? I keep asking this question to people that come here and say that we're negative, and nobody can give me an answer about what is negative about protecting consumer rights. That's what I'm wondering. It is a scam. They are being sued by the SEC for $108 million for unregistered securities because they did not register anything. So they ran their business illegally, basically, selling unregistered securities. You bought a spot on a pyramid, which makes it a fraudulent pyramid scheme because it has no products for sale and nobody is making any commissions or any money. So it is a scam. And if you are in India, you can file against Muhammad Kamal. I do have a video on my channel explaining how employees can, and maybe in future we'll do one about how the O founders can report. You know? Yeah, like what scam am I promoting? You can't just be here and be like, you are a scam, right? Like I don't just go around saying this company is a scam. I provide proof as to why I think this. You know, you can't just be like, this is this is that. I know, it does cover scams. Ivy myxomatosis, she's mad as a merchant. Right? Right? I think we're pretty positive. I mean, we laugh a lot and we have a fun time over here. So whenever someone's like, you guys are so negative, I'm always like, what part? Is it just because I'm telling a truth that you don't want to hear? Because that's not inherently negative either. You know, you just don't want to hear it, so you feel negatively about it. That doesn't mean that the information I'm providing, however, is negative. I mean, I think it's bad and negative to run a scam, but, you know, what do I know? There is office in Hyderabad. Bloody leaders are still misleading. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, you'll find out, Mr. Level. Don't you worry. My love ONPASSIVE founder, Bangladesh. You're a little lost. There's no office in Hyderabad. Yes, no, there isn't. There is no office in Hyderabad. There's no office in Dubai either. So there's no office in Egypt. If there is, it's now Muhammad Kamal and Professor Susan, because she's not a doctor, even though Marty and Chris keep calling her that. We've gone through her education. And so it's a scam.
Pressure of the need. And gradually, it caught on fire. So
Right.
for one reason, you will hear some children are hungry. Then they'll call you. It is going to be the way of life for everybody in this cooperative. I say welcome to the Chinamere Cooperative Society. And I say welcome to other cooperative societies that will join us. I want it to be a global movement where everybody, there will be 10,000 Mama Ivy. Can you imagine what the world will be when everybody will be in a position that I am in to help everybody? So the goal is to multiply what I do. And you are going to be.
So you want to build a city that helps people, and then you want other people to build cities and then join on with your city.
able to multiply it.
Got it.
So the reason for us asking you to register on this link that we have sent you is we want to know about you. We want to know about what you are going to leave, the legacy that you are going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a city where everybody is contributing to the well-being of the whole world. They will hear about us. And I want us to start.
Yeah, are we building a city or are we building a cult compound? What's going on here, Ivy?
Thinking about how we're going to do it and how we're going to meet. I want you to think about your dreams, what you wanted to do, what you wanted to be, who you wanted to help, how you wanted to enjoy your life. If enjoying your life was just taking...
Well, actually, Mohammed Kamal owns the Dubai and Hyderabad ONPASSIVE, which he's apparently run off with. Okay? So he owns ONPASSIVE Technologies LLC. Ash Mufarah only owns ONPASSIVE LLC. All right? The other ones, he doesn't. So Ash is lying to you about what he owns. Okay? Ash has been lying about that this whole time. And if you would read the link that I'm dropping in the chat on the Recovering Hunbots website, then you would understand what's actually going on with your company. Because here's the thing, guys. When a business owner starts an LLC, they have to give their name. So the owner's name gets put on there. It's not like it's private information. It's all public information. We've been saying for years to you guys that this company was split into at least 3 different companies. Myself and the Recovering Hunbot have been saying that for 3 years to you. We've already looked them up and shown you that Mohammed Kamal owned the ONPASSIVE Technologies LLC and Ash owned ONPASSIVE LLC. We've been talking about that since the issues with the merchant, for sure. Maybe even before that. But definitely since the issues with the merchant in September of 2023. We've most certainly been talking about it then because that was about the time that all that started to happen if you read the website. So it's been split up for a while. And this is why we're speaking out about it. Because it shouldn't be a mystery. You should know who owns every part of this company if you're an alleged founding member of it. Right? You're supposed to be a founder of it. So you have the right to know how many ONPASSIVEs there are, who owns what part you're signing agreements with, what part's supposed to pay out your commission. You have the right to know that information. If a company is withholding the information of ownership from you, they are not honest. They are not transparent. They are not ethical. Here on my channel, we like integrity. We like ethics. We like things to be transparent. We want to make sure that all of the businesses are following the laws and not trying to scam everyone. There are no other companies that fear ONPASSIVE'S technology. Nobody knows you exist other than the SEC, myself, and like 4 people that cover you. And then the people in it. That's it. There is no technology company on the face of this earth that is scared of ONPASSIVE. Not one. All right? Mark Zuckerberg hasn't heard of you. Elon Musk has no clue about you. All right? He's not out there rubbing elbows with these people like he makes it sound. You know? There is no agenda to stop ONPASSIVE. There's only regulatory agencies in the United States of America and here in Canada where I live that ensure that companies follow certain laws. Otherwise, companies could just come out here and do whatever they wanted and rip off people left, right, and center. And there would be nothing you could do about it. They could lie to you. They could make illegal income claims. They could mess around with product prices, triple charge you, and then you would have nowhere to go. Those agencies have seen ONPASSIVE breaking the law and have said, you're not allowed to do this. You know? The court date is set for April of 2026. That's when all of this will come ahead. ONPASSIVE as a company is already technically shut down. You guys are about to start on Fusion Tea. That's what's going on. Read the article I posted.
1 month off, not going to work. If that meant enjoying your life, that is good. If enjoying your life was helping maybe 100 children, put them through school in your village, that is
Who's
good.
Geo? Who's Geo? And do you have proof that I've been paid by an entity to take down? Google doesn't pay a salary. You make AdSense on YouTube. I'm making the same AdSense that Marty DeGarmo's making. Red Redfern, Chris Johnson. We're all getting paid by Google with AdSense. They actually make about 11 times the amount I do. So if you're going to get mad at people being paid by Google, go yell at Marty DeGarmo because he makes $1,300 a month. I'm lucky if I get $100. Like, so if you're going to be mad at people getting a payment on here, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've only been paid for the last 3 of them. And I'm lucky if I get paid every month. So I don't even get paid every month from this because I have to make $100 to get paid. There's some months I only make 50 and then I don't get paid. And then the next month I make another 50 and then I get 100. So again, Google, I guess, must be paying Chris and Marty to promote ONPASSIVE. Is that what you're saying? And do you really think that Google is going to get content creators with under 10,000 subscribers or even under 100,000 subscribers to speak out for them? Because Google, if they really wanted to take a company down, since they pay all of the YouTubers and technically run this entire platform, they'd come to me and the recovering Hunbot. I mean, think about it. Don't you think they would have gotten somebody with maybe 1 million subscribers then to do this? You got to think it all the way through.
Good way of life. If you
Hey,
see,
Marion.
I did not leave you out. You are also part of the picture. So I just want you to go ahead, register on the link that has been sent to all of you, and I will explain it again. Okay. We all have been hacked. We all don't feel safe. We all do not want to help again. We don't want to be part of anything because of the old systems. Now there's a new system. The new system is going through mail, the registration that I've sent to you. I want you to use this because that is the only mail that I trust at the moment, because I don't have time to visit my mail and be worried about spam, be worried about being hacked, be worried about it's verified. It has a lot of folders that you can categorize what you want to do. There's a video mail if I need. You see the way I'm talking to you? I can send you a video mail. If I'm busy, I can just talk to you like I'm doing right now and just send it to you. This is a reality. We have moved from darkness into light. I'm telling you.
You can do that on Gmail. You just record a quick little video and then attach the file to your Gmail.
It has so many features and it has a lot of what we need for our movement at this moment. if you realize we are looking at figures going from 1,000 to 150,000. That's a lot of numbers. And like Mercy said, it's going to be first come, first serve. So we just want you to go ahead and we do the registration. We send you the forms within the month, within a few weeks. We will be asking you to sign on OConnect. We'll show you how to enter the ecosystem. And then the same method is how we're going to use to be talking about what we are going to be doing.
So Ivy Mix City appears to have turned into Onpassive City, right?
And it's through this forum that we're going to learn about each and every dream. And then we're going to learn the method for which we can help and to know what you can also bring to the world. There's a matter of urgency. I've been doing this basically by myself with the people that we are in America, but through Mercy, we want to add all the cooperatives and all the groups that are interested. And I'm just saying that now is the time, and we should not waste time. This afternoon, she's going to be asking all of you to start the registration, and then you have to spread the word. And like she said, it's on first come, first serve basis. After about 2 weeks, we will try to close the registration so that we pay attention to the applications. And then because we need to know how many people we're going to put on the OConnect to have the first video conference. We need to have this video conference. Now the OConnect can hold over 10,000 people. And it's a very stable system and very affordable. And I would like us to keep on meeting on that, and we'll see where we go from there. So I just want to say thank you for joining me at this time, and I will come back to you and know that the city where the Lamb is the light, the city of God, the city of good, the city
of God. Ivy Mix and Onpassive are going to save the world with the city of God.
Of what you have missed in your life, you have found it. So I just want to say thank you for joining us tonight, and I'll see you once again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Ivy. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. This is Ivy Mix City. Oh, you thought it was just in her imagination? No. She looks like a Miss Cleo replacement. We naysayers are paid in Queen of Karma coins. 1 Queen of Karma equals 1 trillion of coins. Right? So this is actually ivymixcity.com. You can go there. And as you see, it says, we give kids the foundation for a successful life, which was very confusing because if you remember on her LinkedIn, it says that she does spiritual development for the aged. So I thought she was working with elderly people, but I guess it's children. At our core, we believe that every child deserves the opportunity to thrive and succeed in life by providing a strong foundation through education, support, and encouragement. Services, fundraising. Help us reach our goal and make a difference by choosing to support today. Every step forward brings us closer to making a difference. At Ivy Mix City, we are committed to empowering communities, supporting education, preserving the environment. You can volunteer. We believe that the real change begins with the heart. Sound familiar? It starts with individuals who care, who are driven to make a difference in the world around them. As a volunteer with us, you don't just join a team, you become the very essence of this transformative movement. And apparently she puts on events. At Ivy Mix City, we believe in fostering community, creativity, and collaboration through dynamic events that make a difference. Our space serves as a hub for both local and global communities to come together, learn, share, and create change. Right? Your support helps us provide each child we serve with the tools they need to thrive in school and adulthood. And it's out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. The email for it is ivymix4@gmail.com. So what is it that they do? What do they do? What do we do? Quite a little write up here. Empowering lives, transforming communities at Ivy Mix City. We believe in creating opportunities. It's going to be very ONPASSIVE coded, I feel. You know? So Violet wants to know why nobody is using the word ONPASSIVE anymore. But I think Libby might have left. Libby Kumar might have left. Hey, Albs, good to see you. So we believe in creating opportunities, fostering growth, and driving sustainable change in communities worldwide. Our mission is centered around addressing pressing social, economic, and environmental challenges through innovative, inclusive, and impactful programs, guided by our commitment to equality, education, and empowerment. We work tirelessly to create a brighter future for those in need. I'm just wondering what OBLES is going to do with this going on. Here's a closer look at what we do. Education for all. We believe education is the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and unlocking potential. At Ivy Mix City, we focus on making quality education accessible to everyone, regardless of their background. Building schools and learning centers. We construct and equip schools in undeserved communities, providing children with a safe and supportive environment to learn. Scholarship programs. Our scholarships ensure that talented students from low-income families can pursue their academic dreams without financial barriers. Skill development and training. We offer vocational training and skill-building programs to help individuals, especially women and youth, gain employment opportunities. Community development. Thriving communities are the foundation of a better world. We work hand in hand with local leaders to implement sustainable projects that address immediate needs and lay the groundwork for long-term growth. Clean water and sanitation. Interesting, Ivy. Are you giving people clean water and water filtration systems since Ashmufara never did? We establish water purification systems. Well, look at this. Ashmufara could have just donated to Ivy Mix. Look at that. Build wells and promote hygiene practices in communities lacking access to clean water. Housing and infrastructure, from building homes to creating community centers. They're doing a lot, huh? We focus on providing essential infrastructure that enhances quality of life and small business support. We empower entrepreneurs by providing microloans, interesting, mentorship, and resources to help them establish and grow their business. Environmental sustainability. The future of our planet depends on our actions today. At Ivy Mix City, we champion sustainable practices to combat climate change and protect natural resources. Reforestation initiatives. We organize tree planting campaigns to restore forests, improve biodiversity, and mitigate climate change. Clean energy projects. By promoting renewable energy solutions such as solar panels and wind turbines, we help communities transition to greener alternatives. Recycling and waste management. We educate communities on waste reduction and implement recycling programs to minimize environmental impact. Health and well-being. A healthy community is a thriving community. We prioritize healthcare access and awareness to ensure everyone has the chance to lead a fulfilling life. Medical outreach programs. Wow, Ivy, you're doing so much. We conduct free health camps, provide essential medicines, and support medical infrastructure in areas with limited access to healthcare. Nutrition programs. Our initiatives address malnutrition by providing balanced meals and educating communities on sustainable farming and nutrition practices. Mental health support, recognizing the importance of mental well-being, we offer counseling services and workshops to promote emotional resilience. Wow, Ivy. Humanitarian aid and crisis relief when disaster strikes. Ivy Mix City is there to provide immediate support and long-term recovery assistance, emergency relief. We supply food, water, shelter, and medical aid to communities affected by natural disasters, conflicts, or other crises. I wonder if she's doing anything for Haiti right now. Rebuilding lives. Beyond immediate relief, we assist communities in rebuilding homes, schools, and livelihoods to recover and thrive after a crisis. Advocacy for vulnerable populations. We amplify the voices of marginalized groups advocating for policies and resources to protect and uplift them. Empowerment through inclusion. At Ivy Mix City, we celebrate diversity and strive to create inclusive opportunities for all, with a special focus on empowering women and youth. Women's empowerment programs. We provide mentorship, financial assistance, and leadership training to help women overcome systemic barriers and reach their potential. Youth leadership initiatives. Through workshops, internships, and advocacy programs, we equip young people with the skills and confidence to lead change in their communities. Community arts and culture projects. Ivy, my word, woman, you're just in everything. It's amazing. We support cultural preservation and artistic expression, fostering a sense of identity and pride among communities. Advocacy and awareness. To create meaningful change, we must also change mindsets. Ivy Mix City is dedicated to raising awareness about social issues and advocating for policies that promote equity and justice. Educational campaigns. We conduct workshops and awareness drives on topics such as climate change, gender equality, and public health. Collaborations with policymakers. We work with governments and organizations to develop policies that benefit vulnerable populations and ensure sustainable development. Global outreach. By sharing stories of impact and amplifying voices from the communities we serve, we inspire others to take action and join our mission. Our approach, what sets Ivy Mix City apart. Jesus Christ, sorry, that was all like messed up. Our approach, what sets Ivy Mix City apart, our approach and what was put together, and it messed with me, is our holistic approach to creating change. We believe in community-led solutions. We involve local communities in every step of the process, ensuring that our programs address their unique needs and priorities. Sustainability. Our projects are designed to be self-sustaining, enabling communities to thrive long after our initial involvement. Partnerships. Wow. By collaborating with governments, you're collaborating with governments, businesses, and other nonprofits, we amplify our impact and reach. Why it matters. The work we do at Ivy Mix City goes beyond providing immediate relief. It's about creating opportunities. Apparently not about editing, though. Not about editing your written work. Fostering resilience and empowering individuals to shape their own futures. Every school we build, every tree we plant, and every life we touch is a step towards a more equitable, sustainable, and compassionate world. We can't do it alone. The heart of Ivy Mix City lies in the collective power of people like you, volunteers, donors, advocates, and change makers, coming together to create a better tomorrow. Join us. When you support Ivy Mix City, you are not just contributing to a cause. You are becoming part of a global community committed to making a difference. Together, we can create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Let's build a brighter future, one project, one community, and one life at a time. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing, everything that she's doing. So let's get into the team. Who's the team? We've got a few people here. So we have Ivy Mix is the CEO and founder. Ivy Mix as the CEO of Ivy Mix City exemplifies leadership rooted in compassion and vision. Her dedication to creating impactful change has transformed Ivy Mix City into a hub for social innovation and community empowerment. Under her stewardship, the organization has expanded its reach, providing resources and support to countless individuals in need. Ivy's ability to inspire her team, foster partnerships, and develop sustainable initiatives sets her apart as a leader. Her unwavering commitment to inclusivity and equity ensures that everyone, regardless of background, feels valued and supported. Ivy Mix not only leads with intelligence and strategy, but also with a heart dedicated to making the world a better place. Amazing. We also have Pastor Ashir and Maserat Safraz, who are the directors. And then we have this woman here, who's Igioma Mercy. She's a director. And this guy here, Onyeka Kingsley, is an admin. So that's very, very interesting. So let's see what the program is. Let's see what we're doing. What is she doing? So supporting families in Lahore, weekly food aid and monthly outreach to combat hunger. Says to address the critical issue of hunger, we sent money to evangelist Faisal in Lahore, ensuring that families in need are provided with food packages delivered to their homes once a week, while also offering support through monthly home visits and teachings to help improve their overall well-being and sustain their livelihoods. Says spreading hope at Christmas. Madam Mercy's Heart of Gold brings joy to children and families. Christmas is a very tough time for children and families, but through our Christian outreach, we prioritize creating a space where children can sit and fellowship with others while taking something home, reminding families that someone in the world cares about them, and we deeply thank Madam Mercy, whose Heart of Gold brings hope and joy to these children. And then you'll see this here is a video. It says we are buying clothes for children's palliative. We'll show some of the clothes for the kids. Which that's nice. We are telling them about Ivy Mix, and we gave them clothes. Now, this is when it gets a little bit weird. Okay, this is when it gets a little bit weird because they seem to be going to these places and then spreading the word of Ivy Mix. Okay, it's almost like Ivy Mix is her own god within OnPassive, and she's doing this, and so there's people that praise her as well. And so they send people out into communities to spread the word of Ivy Mix. And that's interesting to say the least, right?
This one now.
So we're dressing a child. The one thing you'll notice, though, is Ivy's not there. So she has other people doing the scenarios for her, which is very interesting. So they do give clothes out. So there's proof of them helping some people anyway. Empowering communities, Ivy Mix City combines clothes outreach with women's trade initiatives. Every month, Ivy Mix City organizes a clothes outreach, providing bags of clothing to families in need, while also empowering women through trade by allowing them to sell these items and use their profits to grow their businesses or receive larger consignments to expand further. So it seems like a great thing that Ivy is doing, where she's going into poor communities where people need clothes and people need jobs. And she's creating jobs for women. But it's a little worrisome when people have to buy the clothes. If they're being given as a dono, that's one thing. You know, having people buy the clothes off of other women so that they can grow their business and then get larger consignments. That's the part that's a little bit iffy, right? Heartbreaking reality. The profound impact of poverty on Africa's children. The harsh reality of poverty and the heartbreaking conditions faced by countless individuals in Africa, especially the innocent children who endure unimaginable suffering, weighs heavily on my heart and fills me with profound sorrow every time I witness their struggles and hardships. We're not going to play that video. Turning struggles into success. Two brothers empowered through candy store business. So their thing is going and helping people create small businesses in poor areas, which again sounds really great, but it's like, are a lot of people buying candy there? I hope so. There were two brothers born with disabilities, and their 90-year-old grandmother, who was their caretaker, needed help. So we set them up in business by opening a candy store that allowed the brothers to reach items from their wheelchair, with every profit reinvested to expand the store, while a mobile delivery van restocks it weekly, giving them a meaningful purpose in life, bringing them happiness, and inspiring others who visit to witness their industrious spirit. Again, it makes you wonder, though, must they pay money for this? Bringing joy and hope, providing toys, shelter, and support to children in Malton's outcast village. The children from an outcast village in Malton, Asia, have long been in our hearts, and we provide them with various services. This year, after the heavy rains, we bought blankets for all the households in the community. And when they expressed a desire for toys, despite Pastor Ashir's suggestion to prioritize food and water, I felt that a childhood without toys would leave an indelible mark on their memories. So we provided them with small toys, bringing them indescribable joy, which meant the world to me as we continue to work together to offer them water, shelter, and a means of livelihood. So there's this, all the toys. These are my children, and I love them deeply. Thank you, Pastor Sarfraz, for carrying the vision of my heart and managing all the logistics and inventory I send to you to improve their lives. And they do some more stuff for these children. We set up a free school in Malton, bringing hope to the entire town. including their grandparents and great-grandparents, who never imagined they would witness such a change in their lifetime. As we organized an event where we not only showed them how we shop at the market, but also provided food and water for them, with many traveling long distances to attend, making it a great success. So hopefully this school continues to be successful. And then it says, Compassionate Mission delivers over 1,000 wheelchairs and essential supplies to disabled children. This mission, which started in 2019 by shipping wheelchairs and clothes to disabled children in some parts of Nigeria, has made a huge impact. So far, we've distributed about 1,000 wheelchairs. The container filled with clothes, items, and health products for the children is about to take off, including the car that's being shipped. I was deeply moved with compassion when I saw some children having to crawl because they had no chance. Here it shows that. It says, our mission is to show every child and family that they are loved and that the world welcomes them. They have the freedom to unleash their potential and creativity and contribute to humanity and live life to its fullness. Ivy Mix City, light for humanity, joy for families. And if you want to help out, they have a fundraising. Every donation you make helps us provide scholarships for underserved students, run after-school programs and mentorship initiatives, distribute food and essential supplies to families in need, support local entrepreneurs through micro grants and training. Now, this is the part that worries me. You get what I'm saying? Then it says, donate today. Join us in transforming lives and building a more inclusive future. Click below to donate and become a part of Ivy Mix's city story. Let's make change happen together. But when I go down, I don't see like a donate button. But I can become a partner. I just have to like fill out this form and submit it. So fundraising, nope, that doesn't tell us anything. Let's look at get involved. Oh, well, that's pretty much the same write up as what we did. Maybe contact. Oh, no, that just does that. Shop. What's that about? Well, you'll notice there's some things for sale here. So these things are being sold, which this gets very iffy. This gets very iffy because you're going to notice there's a certain giant company in our world that is called Disney. And if you take Disney stuff and then you're reselling them, that can be very, very bad. It can be very bad. You can end up getting a lawsuit. And so I just hope that you have the rights from Disney and from Doc McStuffins or whoever this is. Gabby Dollhouse, is that who it is? Yeah, Gabby Dollhouse. Because you're selling a Disney Mickey Mouse backpack for $5, a Disney watch for $1, right? Disney shirts. This is a little bit sus. Paw Patrol, again, also a brand. So it doesn't look good when I go to your shop, and that's what I see. Yeah, don't mess with the mouse. No, you don't mess with Disney. No, I wouldn't. But apparently Ivy Mix City really wants to. So I would just be very, very careful with that. Because if the wrong person comes across this and decides to report these sales to Disney, because I doubt you're partnered with Disney like Scentsy is. All right, Scentsy, the MLM, is partnered with Disney. Disney uses Scentsy scents in all of their theme parks. If you go to Disney World now, you're breathing in Scentsy, MLM product that could be dangerous for children and animals. We don't know. Never tested. But let's put it all over Disney Park. Sounds like a great idea. If you ever go to Disney Park and you have a breathing issue and you wonder why, that's why. They're partnered, though. They have a whole partnership with them. So they have permission to sell warmers and wax and Scentsy buddies with Disney characters. I do not think Ivy Mix City, though, has a similar partnership. So, like, Ivy, you really can't be doing that. They'll send Goofy after you, and you don't want that. Come up all like, gosh, guys, you're not supposed to be selling that stuff over here. Yup. Yeah, I see it. He'll be pretty mad. You're going to get a lawsuit. Yuck. Look at her. She's selling Disney. Yuck. You're going to get a lot of trouble. Then Mickey Mouse comes out all like, yeah, kids, don't do what they're doing. You don't want to sell stuff like that. Make sure you got permission first. Yeah, Mickey, you're right. Yeah, kids, don't sell Disney stuff without permission. I could keep going, but I'll spare you. Look. So yeah, don't sell Disney stuff. Do not sell Disney stuff without their permission. Not very good. But it becomes very worrisome to me when I don't have a place to donate. I don't have a place to see much of what you're actually doing with the money. I mean, yeah, you have this What We Do section that I read through. That's a disaster, by the way. Needs some editing. And you have like pictures of what you're doing, but that doesn't really show us anything. It appears to not be a non-profit organization. I can't find any information about it in terms of it being a non-profit. So it looks like it might be for-profit and private, run by Ivy Mix, which again is just very, very iffy. I have the same issues with Ivy Mix City as I would with ONPASSIVE if it all of a sudden started making websites saying that they were going to save humanity, So Ivy Mix City is a little bit bizarre. I think Ivy Mix City, we maybe don't donate, which you can't donate. There is no donate button. So I think what she plans on doing in future, and this is just my opinion, okay, and based on the information that we've gone through on the website just now, I feel like what she hopes to do with this is like her front to get everyone to sign up for ONPASSIVE. And in future, the business people will be running to help their communities is going to end up being ONPASSIVE and not a candy business, right? And that's just like very, very worrisome. Very worrisome. I don't like any of it. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. Going to be keeping an eye on that. So that's Ivy Mix's experience, her work experience. I feel like we've got a good little look at that. Next, I think what I want to get into is her education. Because something very interesting happened. So this is her education. She starts off with the University of Ghana. And she goes there. They're nonprofit, just like the company, right? Exactly. And that's why it's worrying me. Because I can't find anything that says it's a nonprofit. It's just this Ivy Mix City page. She claims she's doing a bunch of this stuff, but then her main goal seems to be getting people in these areas to start businesses. And I'm kind of like, oh, that's not good when you're attached to Onpassive. This is going to be awful. Exactly. No registration number or details. That's exactly it. So when you're going through a website, you're not finding any of that information, and it appears to just be like a residential address listed as the address. And so, like, it's iffy. It's iffy. There is no like Ivy Mix City office either. So it's just like really like iffy. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna keep my eye on that one and see where that goes in future. So University of Ghana, she did theater arts, drama, and dramatics. Basically, she did theater school at the University of Ghana, which there's nothing wrong with. Good for her. She did that from 1987 to 1990. As you can see, she got a drama major, she says. She specialized in stage management and design and directing. And then it says recruited by Scan Style to be sales manager, focusing on interior decoration, sales, as well as public relations. And I'm like, what does that have to do with your drama major? But I guess thanks for letting us know. Then we have the National American University in Denver. She claims she went there for 2012 to 2012. And it says she was blending theater with wellness to give quality of life to sick and dying. And I couldn't really find much information on that or what that would mean. There wasn't much information on anything to do with National American University in Denver and any way of doing like health and wellness with drama or anything like that. So I'm assuming she probably went there and got maybe like art science like kind of thing, like that's what I'm guessing. But again, there's not enough information here for me to really look up and figure that one out. So I went, all right, whatever. She tried to mix her University of Ghana theater arts drama major with something to do with health and wellness. But she's not a doctor. And I feel like all of this talk about health and wellness that she's doing is leading people to believe that Ivy Mix is Dr. Ivy Mix because she is a doctor. Okay? And you're going to notice she is a quote unquote doctor, but we'll get into that. Primus University of Theology in Arizona. She has her Master of Divinity, MD IV. I guess that's Master of Div. Master of Div. Theology, Theological Studies. And she went there from January 2021 till October of 2023, which made me go kind of like, oh, that's a weird semester. That's weird. The semester ended in October 2023. But then I was like, well, maybe she's doing it online. You know? Maybe she's doing it online and she's working through it as quick as possible. Wonder how far she's away from Mike Ellis. I wonder. Advanced underwater basket weaving, right? Right? So I went and I looked up the university. This is Primus University of Theology. Christ first in life and education. Apparently, it's an exceptional learning environment. Primus University of Theology. College credit for experiential learning. At Primus, your knowledge and experience count toward credit. We are committed to responding to the need for lifelong learning opportunities by providing a full range of educational services adapted to the needs of Christian leaders, ministers, chaplains, business owners. It's amazing how everyone here just keeps on concentrating on business owners. To accomplish this goal, Primus University recognizes transfer credits and awards credit for documented experiential learning, which is defined as college-level learning that takes place outside a college or university setting. Primus University of Theology is a revolutionary revival of the biblical style of teaching and is a classic model of the original ecclesial open university system. Primus recognized that biblical knowledge is worthy of credit and acknowledgement, and that honor and recognition should be awarded to those who learn through revelation and independent study. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking independent study? That doesn't sound too bad. What's that, like online? Usually when they are talking independent study, they're kind of talking like life experience. You know, almost like you would get maturity credits. Primus Clinical Pastoral Training. Clinical pastoral education designed for today's world. Discover the Primus difference. Find out more. A classical model of higher education. Primus University of Theology has been modeled after the original university systems at the advent of education, where Bible teaching was required even for medical and law students. We are accredited through the University Accreditation Association. We are accredited through the University Accreditation Association. Just file that away in the back of your mind for a bit. Credits for lifelong learning. Primus University of Theology recognized transfer credits and award earned credits for documented lifelong learning that takes place outside a college or university setting. Through assessment of knowledge and performance skills, students are able to complete graduate degrees primarily through portfolio assessment and at a fraction of the cost of the traditional education system. Interesting. World-renowned Christian leaders. At Primus University of Theology, our graduates become our adjunct professors. This allows our students to learn from experts in their field of study and the author of the books and materials they teach. We focus on the 7 mountains of influence. Listed below are just a few of our world-class alumnus professors with a brief introduction into the area of influence, their expertise, and teaching focus. And you'll notice here we have Dr. Karen Drake, who's the president, and we have Dr. John Corella as the vice president. And here we have UAA, University Accredited Association. And this is from 2022 till 2025. So that is the homepage. Now let's take a look at how do we get started there. Application guidelines, requirements, and resources. So how you get started is first you order a copy of our founder, Dr. Richard Drake's book titled Army of Compassion, available on the website's bookstore. Write a brief statement reflecting your thoughts on how the university's purpose inspires your desire to fulfill your specific educational goals. Upon review and acceptance of application, signed documents, and comments on Dr. Richard Drake's book, the student will receive a letter of acceptance and admission into a degree program. The founder of the program's book is what I have to read. Okay. That sounds like Scientology. I don't know. What? Wow. Okay. All right. You get credits for watching Bob Larson. Exactly, right? Ivy has degrees in politics, economics, and psychology. She's never had a job, but at least she knows why. Sorry, the only army I'm a part of these days is of the darkness variety. Hashtag groovy. So, if there was ever red flags for Culty University, it's probably the one that tells you to read a copy of the founder, their uni's founder's book, and then write a paper on that. A little weird. Get started, apply today. So you can do an online application and you can get in there. And then it talks about how you have to pay your tuition, fees, and billing, which is very interesting. Hold on, I have it on the next page. 1 second. There it is. Found it. Degree program fees and credit hour requirements. So let's just take a minute and check this out. I looked up about how much it would be to get a bachelor degree in Arizona. And it turns out it is about, I'll look it up again. How much to get a bachelor's degree in Arizona? The average annual in-state college tuition in Arizona is $10,020 for the 2021-2022 academic year. This is $5,232 lower than the U.S. average and ranks Arizona cheaper than average as the 42nd most expensive state or district to attend college. Alrighty, so I looked that up, and remember, they said they're a fair bit cheaper. Okay, so just, keep all of that in mind. And here it says, to get an associate's degree, which is equivalent to being accepted into the bachelor's degree. You have to have an associate's degree. And then you can come in and you can pay $12,500 for a bachelor. Once you have your bachelor, you can pay $10,700. So they're about the same. I'd say that's about what people would be paying. So they're charging like they are the university of all universities. And maybe they are. Because Primus Education Systems, LLC, is all about women-owned small businesses, as you can see. Celebrating since 2001, but they were established in 2018. So I'm not really sure what that's about. But anyway. Dr. Karen E. Drake is the president. She was related to the founder. As you can see here, you come down here, statement of qualifications. We are committed to responding to the needs for lifelong learning opportunities by offering a full range of educational services adapted to the needs of Christian leaders. Our mission is to provide relevant off-the-shelf access to universal classes. lifelong learners can pursue continuing education unites CEU courses, one course at a time or on their own schedule. This gives students the greatest amount of saving so they can earn their degree at a fraction of the traditional cost. And then it also says, we offer degrees at the bachelor's, master's, and doctoral levels in a broad range of Christian focuses. The university recognizes transfer credit and awards credit for documented experiential learning, which is defined as college-level learning that takes place outside a college or a university setting. Arizona Christian University. Primus University, their university of theology has formed strategic alliances with Arizona Christian University, Oral Roberts University, and the Institute for Clinical Pastoral Education to offer Christian higher education and chaplaincy training programs to veterans and military families worldwide. Once again, Dr. Karen Drake is the president, Dr. John Correll is the vice president, and it says here it's a university accredited association. So I went to the list of schools accredited by the Association of Theological Schools in the United States and Canada. And I went through the entire list. I went through the whole list because all of the ones here in Canada are listed on this list. There's a lot in the US, a lot more than what's in Canada. But I could not find them anywhere on this list whatsoever, nor could I find any of the universities that they claim to be like connected to. So looking through, I don't see it. There's the piece. Primus should be listed right here. And it's not. So I was like, okay, well, don't jump the gun yet. Don't jump the gun yet. Maybe they are accredited or something. Well, they do have a Form 990, which means that they're exempt from paying taxes. So they're exempt from paying taxes with this form because they claim to be like a ministry. It is basically what this is, right? It claims that it has no volunteers, and it had one employee in 2023, which is weird for an entire university with an entire staff and alleged professors teaching. I don't know, but we might be looking at some fraud. I'm just saying. Check if self-employed. Yep. So apparently in 2023, they only had one person working and they're exempt from income tax. So isn't that wonderful? Wonderful. So then I took a look at this page because this is the chaplaincy training through Primus University of Theology, right? Mark says, what is the most common question that a person holding a PhD in theology and divinity asks other people? Do you want fries with that? Right? So this page here says, Primus University is dedicated to offering a standardized and evidence-based clinical pastoral education, CPE, training program to chaplains and spiritual care providers. And this is what Ivy Mix claims to be, right? Primus University chaplaincy education provides an interdisciplinary educational opportunities. Provides interdisciplinary educational opportunities. And promotes effective communication. Oh, does it? And collaboration among spiritual care provider and healthcare, prison, military, police, fire, and religious organizations. Then it goes into accreditation. This is the part I want you to pay attention to right here. This is the important part. Primus University of Theology offers a clinical pastoral training program with ACCET credits. ACCET is listed by the U.S. Department of Education, DOE, as a nationally recognized accrediting agency. Okay. Awesome. So I came here to the University Accreditation Association to check it out. I don't know much about it. Membership with the University Accreditation Association. The Accreditation Commission consists of no fewer than 7, no more than 11 members. At least 5 members of the Accrediting Commission must be from the public unaffiliated with UAA membership. And when you come down here, you're going to notice a name that maybe is a little bit familiar. Well, 2 names. So we have John Corolla right here as an affiliate member and Dr. Karen E. Drake right there as an affiliate member. So I don't know about this accreditation area. All right. But I thought, you know what? Let's look at the database of accredited post-secondary institutions and programs. That should most certainly tell us about this. And then I got even more confused because you see the Accrediting Council for Continuing Education and Training, they've been accredited since 2018, allegedly, but their last renewal was in 2022. And this is it here. April 20th, 2022. So, you allegedly get a late fee of $500 if you don't respond to this, but there is no other documents after this one in 2022. So it appears that they might not be accredited right now by the ACCET. So then I decided to go because they said the U.S. Department of Education was accrediting them, okay? So I went to go check out the U.S. Department of Education, and it was quite interesting because it seems to do mainly with birth to grade 12 education. So then I just went and Googled if it accredited, and they do not accredit. They do not accredit. You have to get the Accredited Council for Continuing Education and Training. Now, if you're accredited, okay, then your website is supposed to have one of these logos on it. All right. If you are accredited, you have to have one of these logos on your website. If you are a school and you do not have some kind of accredited by and then a company, you're probably not accredited, right? So then I went back to the Primus, the website, and I searched. And I searched. And I searched. And the only thing that they have saying that they're accredited is by this University Accreditation Association, which these two are sitting on the board of. So, like, as someone that sees corruption a lot in corporations, I'm not feeling too confident in their accreditation, especially since all it says on here is University Accreditation Association, which is allegedly a privately owned company that is claims to be through the U.S. Department of Education, which does not in any way handle accreditation. All right? Like, so I'm over here like, I can't, what the fuck is going on? I'm also in Canada. So I'm assuming it works similar to here in Canada, roughly, you know, the same in the US and Canada, UK. We're all kind of very similar. There might be like slight differences in how things work, but like you have to be accredited by something. You have to be, it's the same with how like Ash had to file his securities with the SEC, you know? It's like you cannot be a school and not have accreditation. So now I'm like, oh my, this might be a whole new scam. This might be a whole new scam. And it involves these schools. And once again, we have someone where I'm not feeling too confident about this school, guys. I am not feeling too confident about this school in Arizona at all. It seems very, very culty and not at all accredited. And so because of that, I'm kind of like, I don't know if Ivy Mix has a bachelor's in anything. Which also then is kind of like, how are you going to be an ONPASSIVE? You're going to get taken by a diploma mill, and then you're going to use that experience to go to other countries and help them run businesses in Ivy Mix City? Well, they build a border around that city, huh? Like, I just, it's insane. It's insanity. Absolute insanity. And so I'm still kind of digging into this and trying to figure it all out. All right? Trying to figure it all out. No, I didn't say they were a cult. I said it's culty. It's cult-like vibes when they're like, join our university. Read the book of our leader. Make sure you worship him and God everywhere. It's like, I don't know. I don't know about that one, especially when you're not accredited. So everything's very iffy about this, and everything is very, very iffy about Miss Ivy Mix and her education. But she does claim to be a master of divinity. All right, she says she's a medical spiritual director and pastoral ministries. Ministries. She has a degree just like the one Ash got from MIT. And this is what I'm kind of saying. This university that she went to, this university, this Primus University of Theology in Arizona, appears to be another like diploma mill type thing. It's just, it's preying on Christians that want to get into being ministers or being some kind of spiritual guru, you know? And it's kind of like tricking them into thinking that they're getting an education in this when they're not. They're really not. Any bachelor that only takes 2 years to get is probably not an actual bachelor degree. Here in Canada, even if you, like, the only way you can get into a bachelor degree is if you already have 2 years of college under your belt and something else, And even then, it will be a 3-year program. You might get 1 year off because you have some credits from college from that. I know because I've looked into doing it myself. I have 2 years of college and I was going to go get my Bachelor of Social Work. And in order for me to do that, I would get to take a year off of the 4-year program because of my 2 years of college. But then I would have to do 3 years in uni for my bachelor's. So when I see a college that's like, oh, yes, you do need to have 2 years of college before you go to this uni. But then you can get your bachelor's in like a year, within a year or two. It's a little bit iffy, especially when they're talking about how it's not education being done at university, but outside of university settings and stuff. Very, very iffy. Would not recommend. But because of this, I do not believe Ivy Mix to be a doctor. I do not believe her to be a doctor. I think that she believes that she has a master's, because you're not a doctor with a bachelor. So she would have to have at least a master's, right? A master's in divinity, she says, an MDiv. And it's just like, I don't know if she does, and did she also get her bachelor's through this place? Because then she probably doesn't even have that, it's all just looking very, very iffy. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Because one thing that Ivy does like to do is she does like to use the fact that she is a preacher to kind of preach to all of us. Mr. Level says, I wouldn't want her to operate on me. And see, and this is the problem, is that she keeps putting like medical here. And as we know, people get confused when you're called a doctor and then you imply medical. You're not a medical doctor. You would be a doctor if you actually do have your master's in divinity. Then you would have your doctorate, right? Or your master's in divinity. And that's how you would be seen as a doctor. Not because you did several years to work in a merch. Okay. My sister, who is a full-on registered nurse, is more of a doctor than Ivy Mix is. Okay? And so I went on kind of a big rabbit hole with that one. Came across all of this, started to dive into how Christian universities and colleges get accredited versus like non-Christian ones in the US. And it's just not looking good for this school, guys. It's very, very similar to American Intercontinental University that Ash graduated from. So that is my deep dive on Ivy Mix's background, because I definitely had to show you all of that. A lot of you guys have been wondering, is she a doctor? Why do people keep calling her doctor? Why does she call herself doctor? I think she's been tricked into believing that she has a master's degree in divinity through this sketchy university. And so because of that, she's going around mislabeling herself. And it's good for us to be aware of these things. And honestly, this is why you have to look into things. If someone presents themselves as a doctor, look into their education. I do it even with my counselors. Like if I'm going to see my psychiatrist, all right, I need a new one. And they say, yeah, we'll refer you to this guy. I go look him up. I want to go know all about him. I want to go look up everything about him. I want to know, is he going to be good? You have that right as well as a patient of a doctor. And I urge you to do it with anyone that claims that they're a doctor. Ask them, what do you have your doctorate in? Where did you study? And just, maybe just do a little background check on it. Couldn't hurt. Doctor of Divinity. She's the doctor of divinity, which is basically a doctor of religion, of being like a minister. You can, by the way, go and get an actual education in being a minister. I'm not saying that the actual like doctorate of theology is a scam. If you go to accredited uni, all right, I had a friend of mine from my church camp that went and became a priest. All right, he wanted to go be a priest. So he was looking into how to do all of that. And you do go to uni for that. believe it or not. You do. And you can get your doctorate of like theology is usually what it is. You know, or or I don't know if it's called something in the US. Apparently it's called Doctor of Divinity in the US. But like, I'm not saying that that's a shitty education. Like, there are actual ministers out here, priests, actual people that have some kind of actual university schooling. But then there's people like Jeff Holiday, who is a content creator on here. If you're not familiar with him, he went and became a reverend just by applying online and filling out a form. And this is akin to that. It looks like this is kind of like a fucking diploma mill mixed in with a fake paper that says, yeah, you're a minister now, if you will. So it's not looking good. It seems like common sense. Check the person you are literally handing your life to. It does, but you'd be so surprised at how nobody ever looks into these things. Right? And they just take people's word that they are who they are. I used to be like that myself. All right. It took me getting screwed over by somebody in medicine before I really got smart. So that's what I'm saying. Make sure that you do look into it, you know? Yep. Go look into it, kids. Yep. So yeah. We're going to take a short break. And then when I come back, we're going to watch Ivy Mix on the OTech Pros webinar. You're going to hear from our dear MD of Divinity, and tell me while you're listening if you think that she'd be a good minister or reverend or spiritual leader. And then if we have time, we might check out the Shinning the Light. We'll see how we do. The first one's pretty short. It's only 15 minutes long, so I'm thinking that we'll have time for it. We'll be right back.
Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy. No one fucks with my hose. The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Wait, do you have a condom? You don't have one somewhere? Yes. Oi, excuse me there, sir. Do you have these directions? Sure, you just go down that way and make a turn. Don't let her know that your dinger is almost a no-go. Get Tiny Dinger condoms to you discreetly. It's very important to choose the right size, so make sure that you get your tiny size. Don't be caught without a condom. No, no, no. Get Tiny Dinger condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Located at your local CVS pharmacy, Rexall, Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand.
We get it. You're into feet, and not many girls are also into feet, but you finally found your dream woman. We got your souls covered now. Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Dinger condoms, trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand, and the same people who brought to you Sexual Endorphin Spray, trademarked. We have now created the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray. When you're rubbing on her toes, take a deep breath in and smell the sweet aromas of the toilet bowl, the tire shop, dead flowers, and your nana's perfume. After all, it will turn you on more than just her pinky toe will. This little piggy has been to the market and grabbed themselves a bottle of the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray, trademarked. It made it so much easier to wake to my ex-girlfriend's feet after she posted up her beach trip vacay photos. Grab your bottle now and make that nasty foot fragrance vanish just like a ghost. Located at CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Kmart, Chaz R Us, and in your favorite foot fetishist nightstand. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger condoms and Fantasia foot spray. Buy Tiny Digger diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsor. Yes, thank you. So a couple weeks ago, Ivy Mix came on the OTech Pros webinar, and it was quite interesting what she had to say about how we should move forward together. It was just after the new year, and they were talking about how everything in ONPASSIVE was going to be wonderful in the future.
Dr. Ivy Mix. Dr. Mix, we are interested to hear your take on this year that we have great expectations and our ability to stay focused on the prize. Over to you, sis. And Oliver will come next after you.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you, and I appreciate my precious sisters, and they're always queens. And I always call our brothers here the kings. Call them the kings because a king always gives you power and gives you joy, gives you pleasure. You know how a kingdom is. So we want to thank you every day. I say from the bottom of my heart, you know, when we have you empowering us the way you do, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And
Hey, Nani.
we are in 2025, and I think everybody spied on my notes. So I have to change my notes. I don't know if I have to change it now. I don't know how I'm going to do, but it's going to work. So, Engineer Mike, Jean, Comfort, everybody has said so. Right now, I have to go with my raw brain. I think my brain is going to work. So,
and as you're gonna find out, she probably should have just like stuck to the notes. Might have gone better for her. She calls them the Kinks. Ray and Dave Davies might have something to say about it.
We have gotten to a point where Ash has said it all, and his 2 appearances at the end of the year means that now we have to shift our attention from the technicalities and what we don't know. You don't know how to do programming. You don't know how to do anything computer. All that he's doing, you don't know. Leave him alone. This is the time to focus.
And you know what's sad is that like these guys could learn if it's an interest of theirs, but instead of learning anything about computers, they all just sit around on these OTech webinars talking about how great Ash and OnPassive is, instead of learning about technology through the alleged OTech pros.
Focus on you. This is a time, this year, we are leaving Ash alone. Do you know, are you able to do what he does? Apart from our big brothers and kings here, even them, he will challenge them with what he knows how to do.
What?
Are you getting me? So this year is the year for
like Ash is the most intelligent man in the whole wide world to these guys. He's gonna challenge all of them with his crazy intelligence.
Me and for you. I said this morning when I woke up, I was asking myself, Ivy, how can you be better? I was asking myself. Nobody was here. I think that's what you should be asking yourself, and leave this genius alone. Are you getting me? If you haven't attained that state that he's in, his genius is God-given. This is the time for divine creativity. If God has not given it to you, you will not understand what he's doing. All the great people in the world, when they were doing stuff, nobody understood them because they had it straight, a direct download from God. So we're going to leave him alone. He has already succeeded in creating a network. And that is the reign, that is the focus of 2025 onwards till life ends. What happened in the past was not enough. The network he has created is a network of human beings. We never had it. Now we have it. He has created it. The internet paved the way. But when Ash started talking about AI, it was so offensive then. But now everything AI. Now you even have content creators. If you don't have .ai with your name, it's like you're not serious. You're not in business. Imagine just 3 years ago, not to talk about 5-6 years ago when he started. I was like, that word was a taboo. You couldn't say it openly. Now you have to add it to every business that you have for it to make sense. So I'm happy. And I stand here and I stand firm and say he's the forerunner of AI in society, not the technology. Are you getting me? They're talking about it. We've been talking about it. Our families heard about it from us. Some people never knew about it. And then also, he succeeded in heralding and pioneering love. Love is not something that you do or you add onto something. Are you getting me? Love is a place where you sit to do something. Brothers and sisters, if you sit in love, to send a present is different from giving a present. Are you getting me? The world now, if your organization or your corporation is not coming from a place where you sit in love to spread what you have, you are irrelevant. You cannot just say, well, I have the best technology. Okay, keep your car. There's going to be a company that is going to manufacture cars with love, just like AI with love that we have. I'm telling you, at this time, the human being is so wise that if you do something and your heart is not attached, I'm telling you, you're wasting your time.
Well, yeah, guys, if you do something and your heart's not attached to your body, then you're probably dead. So
another thing that we have to get to is the world is spreading into creativity. The world is going to enter technology. In fact, you are a technology. I am a technology. I am the technology. Why is AI succeeding? Why did the internet and computer succeed? Because they were trying to mimic the brain. They were trying to mimic what God made us to be. In fact, our big computer brothers here will tell us that computer has gone so far that they are trying to do everything the brain was supposed to do. If you remember the chess game that was played by Gary, is it Kasparov? After some time, he used to play every computer chess game. Then they came up with Deep Blue. He could not beat Deep Blue. He played Deep Blue 4 times. After the 4th time, he could not play Deep Blue anymore because the brain had been mimicked. You are the technology. Be proud. Your alimentary system is a technology. Your heart is a technology. It's emitting frequencies and waves and electromagnetic signals. Your circulatory system is a technology. Your limbs are all technologies. What you have, why does the Bible say, lay your hands on them and they shall recover? It's a technology. Are you getting me? So let us know that now technology without love is not going to work. And I am proud that Ash submitted to us. Those days we did not understand when he used to say he comes with his heart, AI with a heart. But now, any technology without love is not going to work. It's not going to work at this given time. And the Bible says that to the increase of his government, there shall be no end. It's going to go from glory to glory. Ash is going to get better and better, going from glory.
I mean, to be fair, Violet, they could be technology because apparently people are technology. So, and your heart is technology. Love is technology.
Glory to glory. There's going to be an increase. So we are thinking that, what we have seen is enough. We haven't seen anything. Like I said, we are going to leave him alone and then walk our own path.
Okay.
In 2025, living life is going to be like the most.
The Bible. Yeah, Corinthians 1:32, when God says, and I will send down an Ashmuphara to bring the people AI with heart. You don't remember that one, Violet?
Predominant thing. Living life to your fullest, to the highest creativity, giving everything from a place of love, of kindness, of gentleness. Okay. Any business that is not doing that will diminish in influence.
Oh, maybe it was Delusions 13:4. Yeah, that was probably it.
I'm telling you, all these things that we are saying.
Ivy Mix always does this. I'm telling you. Every time she says something powerful, she goes, I'm telling you. I don't know. Maybe she would be a good minister.
We're not saying it as a joke because we are moving to a life without poverty, without hunger. So what will be left? It's going to be now life is going back to community. Life is going back to friendliness. Life is going back to caring. Look at what is going to happen. Next time there's an earthquake, people will not say, oh, where is, let's say, let me make up the name of a city, Kakramadu. Where's Kakramadu? Then they just throw it apart. No. Everybody will see the devastation in
Because delusions 24/7.
Kakramadu. And what will they do? They'll all start through the internet, donating $1, $2, be one super nation.
Okay, this is the part that gets me. She's talking about how Ivy Mix City and ONPASSIVE is going to create this world that is going to basically make it so that people will just donate money whenever there's a natural disaster. And I'm kind of like, that already happens in a sense. So how do you think you're going to do that better? Like, take like Hurricane Katrina when that happened. A lot of people got together to send out money, send out food, send out aid. Like, the world kind of does get together after a natural disaster or a big event and tries to help out. So my whole thing is like, what do you think is going to happen? And the way she talks here, she says, oh, the people even in South Africa will give $1, $2. Like, it's a weird way of looking at the world. Like, no one's helping today. Everyone hates everyone. Nobody's helping anyone. But once ONPASSIVE starts, then when there's a natural disaster or some negative event, you know, then people will help. And they'll do it by donating $1 or $2. And as we've discussed, money is not the answer to all the problems.
The era of the superpower and the super nation is over. The era of me and you is now. So somebody in Africa is not going to feel that, oh, well, I'm insignificant. That person will send $1. You know why? Not because the dollar is big, but because the heart is big. Because the heart is big, that person is going to send $1. So that the people who are suffering in Kakramadu can change. Are you getting me?
She made up a place, Kukamaru. Really, I think it's just Ivy Mix City. But she makes up a place and then she's like, oh, and when they go through something, everyone will send $1 or $2 because everyone is going to work with their hearts instead of what, their brains?
This time is a time, this is a year of focusing on educating ourselves so that we can educate others. We can be talking like this and telling them that your $1, send it through SendWave, send it through mobile money. Are you getting me? Now the world doesn't belong to one person anymore. What? The world does not belong to one superpower. The G5 industrial revolution and everything has failed.
Did the world all belong to one power? Did we have a king of the world? And I know there's some lady pretending she's the queen of Canada. I'm sure there's several people pretending that they're the queen of the USA. But like, what?
Do you know why? Because AI with love is taking over. That love factor is bigger than the computer itself.
So you think because AI with heart is coming, that's automatically going to make everyone have heart? Is the AI with heart, is Al with heart the king of the world?
That is where we are
going.
Is
it Elvis?
That is huge. And then gone are the days that there was always war. Now nobody's interested in war. Thank God, in the name of Jesus, nobody is interested in war. Now we are interested in sharing. We are interested in caring.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. We just need to give all the people that are at war some AI with heart. You know, if they had O Connect, then they wouldn't be going to war right now. They would all just do video conferences on O Connect instead.
We are interested in a world with sustainability. We are interested in a world with cooperation. What a world. That is what God determined it to be. We are going to go back to the increase of his government. There will be no end. What? We're going to go back to what we're supposed to be, where peace, joy, and love was what made us happy. Where the well-being of the human being is so precious. the way we feel when we don't see one another, the way we pray for each other. I don't have to know Jean to know her baby is not well. As soon as she says it, for one reason or the other, I remember when our precious brother was not well.
Do we even know who we're talking about? Remember when our precious brother, whatever his name is, he wasn't doing too well, remember?
Uncle Bob, I told myself, I said, I have to pray. I'm telling you, I was praying for him in my room. There are days I tell myself.
It is true, Thomas. If you're in webinars for 20 hours a day, it would be hard to wage war or to fight a war. If only the world was ever actually like that.
Something
right?
comes over me. I said, I'll be praying for Ash. He cannot fail. You know why? It's because the world is going back to caring and sharing. That is where, because like I said, all that has to be taken care of, Ash has taken care of it already.
The world is going back to caring and sharing. All that has to be taken care of, Ash has done it already. Oh, Ash ended all the wars? All of the pain and suffering? And he built all of the technology? Really? Where is it? When do we get to see it? The rest of us gonna get to use it, or he's just done? Pray for Ash, he cannot fail, right? Sharing what? Exactly. Like what? Where are the products? Let's go. So we all become Care Bears. Care Bear countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, they're like, who's that coming from somewhere up in the sky? Stealing $108 million as he flies by. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. We'll all just be the Care Bears.
Right now, the human being, your creativity is going to come back. Gone are the days when all of us used to live in the same box house.
I didn't know my creativity went anywhere. Creativity, come back. It's such a weird, warped view of the world that the people in ONPASSIVE have. It's so bizarre. Like, it's over a video conferencing app. Like you would think that the man was about to give everyone the cure for AIDS and cancer with the way that they're talking about him and what's going to come in future with our world. And it's like, dude, he just made a video conferencing app. There's like thousands of them out here. Like, it's not going to change the world. And like, it's so weird that they have this idea in their head that everyone just needs to get on an O Connect webinar together and work shit out, and then all the wars would end. And it's like, it's such a weird way to view the world, but they keep going deeper and deeper into it. It's crazy to watch because it's like none of it makes sense. It's completely delusional, but for some reason they hunker down. It's like, wow. He was talking about Sharon from Lowe's. But Ash does have the cure for cancer. Remember, he said so like a year or two ago. Yeah, he did in a webinar. He said that they would come up with the cure for cancer and that he already knows what it is, that they already have it. And then he stated that the government also has it already. They just won't share it with us. Clearly, these people are way more creative than us naysayers, though, Queen of Karma. I don't think any one of us could go on like this for hours, days, years. Challenge accepted. No.
When was the last days we had a proper architect?
Right, like he didn't even actually make the video conferencing app. It doesn't exist right now. And I think that's what's so frustrating. It's like you guys already had it. Like you did have it. Came out September 2023. Like, so you had it, you launched it, nothing changed. All right. You couldn't even get all of the people inside ONPASSIVE to buy it. So you've already had like a trial run and seen that this is not how things are going to go. Yet for some reason, you're like, but no, the next time we do this is when it will really pop off. It's like it didn't happen the first time. Why would it happen the second time? What's changed? Oh, well, Ash took back the company. Well, the management of the company doesn't much matter if you're just going to be releasing a product to sell. I mean, does it matter who was running the company when OConnect was released? That doesn't have any bearing on the customers buying it, you know? Customers usually don't even care who's running the company most of the time. So it's not like you can blame it on that, yet here we are. Here we are. One of the biggest commercial disasters of the 21st century, the launch of OConnect.
The architects, people go to Rome and all that to go and look at those buildings. It's as if we are not the same human beings. We are the same human beings, but our creativity was killed by industrial revolution. Our creativity was killed by economic situations. But now, after our ash, what is going to happen? You have enough. You're going to create that building. When was the last time there was a Beethoven? When was the last time you heard of somebody creating a new symphony?
Yeah, no, nobody creates music anymore. There's no art left in the world. There's just no creativity left in our world. We need Mr. Ash Mufara to bring back the creativity.
That is, all our houses are the same. When was the last time? In Africa, we have some houses that they are so beautiful. You say, oh, I want you to build my house like that house. Architectural creativity. When was the last time something was designed, a beautiful ball ground down? Now everybody is wearing the same thing. That's not how God made us. God made us to be individualistic and creativity. So our focus this year is we're going back to who God made us, what God made us. I'm telling you. And brothers and sisters,
I'm telling you.
as I submit to you that us instilled creativity in us, it is a power I stand. You know, when I'm talking about Ash, I talk about myself as an Ash girl. I submit to you that he's a forerunner of creativity. What did he do? The whole of last year, he was saying, be you. Bring out what is in you. He was stressing it nonstop. Because the reason why we're all wearing the same prison clothes is because we did not have. Now we have. We don't all have to wear the same orange overalls. You can decide to be a dressmaker. You can decide to be an artist.
We're all wearing the same orange overalls in the world. All of us are forced to work in factories or be scientists. It's either one or the other. Like, what in the Big Brother 1984 is going on here?
This is going to be the year of teaching. I heard Marty. Marty said, do you know anybody who is a teacher? You can teach online. All these things that we're talking about, you can teach it online.
Yeah, because somebody that works as a teacher for their career, right? Good salary, decent salary anyway. Probably has benefits, you know, like health benefits, dental here. They should quit that so that they can join ONPASSIVE and then pay money to teach. And maybe if they're lucky, they could, I don't know, sell a course for like $100 instead of going in every day and teaching for several hours a day to make a real income, you know? Yeah, that's what our world should be.
I just want to say that his main message that we have to be creative. Let us hold that torch this year. Let us give him space to do what he knows how to do. Thank you very much, Bob.
The man disappeared for 2 months. He had space. Nothing got done. He just came back with the same fucking excuses and speech that he always does. Hey, it'll be great, blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, etc., whatever. Like, come on, man. Violet says, listen, chick, what the fuck does any of this have to do with a poor sucker that paid $97 6 years ago to just try to earn a living? You are insane. Do you miss Dr. Benny and the bouncy eyebrows? Let's give Ash space. About 7 years. Yeah. It's like, how much longer does this man need? You know?
Wow, that's why I like to bring you almost last at the end of the day, because after that we should all be going home. Don't you guys think? Dr. Ivy Mix, look, you said we should focus on you, and leave Ash alone. I love that. Remember the known unknowns and the unknown unknowns. That's what our founder is busy taking care of. And then you talk about love. Yes, we have always said here, myself and my old tech brothers, we've said repeatedly that our system is automated, is integrated, built with artificial intelligence, and there is a sublime unseen component of love, compassion, and hope. That's what we're talking about. That's the only system that is built with that in mind. It's sublime, it's unseen.
So I just find it interesting that Bob thinks that she said something like really profound there. So I just wanted to show you Bob's reaction. Like, she talks like that all the time, and then they act like she said something like powerful, empowering, fabulous. And I'm always sitting here like, what? Like, what is this woman talking about? I already need to correct myself on something. I found it. So apparently Ivy Mix City is actually registered with the Colorado Department of State. It was formed on November 7th, 2023. And the registered office is in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. It actually looks like this. This is it here. The current entity status is good standing, and the registered agent of the entity is Ivy Lawson Mix. So, you know, there's that. But apparently it is a not-for-profit organization. Right here. 2023-1107, Ivy Mix City, form a non-profit corporation. So apparently she is considered a nonprofit here. So I wanted to show you guys that. So far, she's a nonprofit, but that just means that she's registered with the government. I don't know if she's been fully approved of this yet. This is kind of what she's doing. She is registering it. Apparently right now it's still in good standing. So, you know, there's that. There's that. I wanted to show that to you so that I didn't misspeak. The next thing that we should look at is her shinning the light. Her shinning the light with Marty and Chris. She's a nonprofit. Good one. Good one. Only the IRS grants 401c3 are probably 5 for religious status. 501c3. See, I understand. And I think that what she's done is she's just registered the business as a nonprofit there in Colorado. I don't think it actually means that she is registered as a nonprofit organization. So that's what I'm saying. She's basically applied to Colorado to be a nonprofit. And I don't know what's going on with it. I guess it's still being processed, but I like this. Nonprofit. Brilliant. So I think that this shining the light on Ivy Mix on Passive Live will give us a deeper insight into who is Ivy Mix. And I've already sped it up a little bit. Look at Marty here. He looks like he just saw a ghost.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. It is the 9th of August. Yes, it is. And as you know, we've been doing Shine the Light, and we've got a very, very, very special guest today. Ivy Mix, and she is awesome. I met her a few months ago. I don't remember how long ago, and she went boom on the scene. And I said, "Whoa, she's special. Definitely special lady. She's done a lot. She's done a lot since she's been here." And
I'm like, yeah, she's definitely such a lady. That's a good way to describe her. I describe her as such a lady. That's fair, Marty. Fair.
She's motivated, inspired a lot of people. It's really amazing. So before I go there, though, I wanted to say something. We know there's some crazy stuff going on behind the scenes with Mr. Mafara, but we also know this. All of us have been here minimum over 2 years. Some of us 6. And I know there's things out there that people are joining. I'm not going to bash what it is. Okay, I'm just not going to do that. But I have looked at it.
Le programme de sport-études s'intègre bien avec le programme de l'enseignement personnalisé parce qu'ici,
in fact, somebody signed me up to it.
Sorry, guys.
But either way, what I want to tell you is it's not unpassive. I'm not going to put it.
You know what happened? I have to tell you what just happened because now I'm just sitting here laughing at myself. So the last clip that I played for you was a video clip in the studio. And now I'm playing it from another tab in the browser. And I just, for a split second, I tried to skip the video for some reason in the StreamYard. Like as if inside the StreamYard studio, I could skip the video on the YouTube in the other tab. Because my brain for a second just didn't work. And I was like, oh no, commercial. And so I tried to click it on here. And all it did was full screen my full screen what I'm showing you guys. And it was like, oh crap, yeah, that's right. I gotta go into a tab and then click the damn thing. I'm sorry. I had to share that. That was some good fun. Yeah, no, now I gotta click into the tab and press play.
It down, but it's not unpassive. And I just want you to remember why you're here. We all heard what's going on. Listen, the person that was beat up the most was Mr. Mafara, and he's here, and he's still fighting for us. And he promised what we're about to get is even bigger and better than what we thought we had. And we're on our way.
I'm enjoying this because I always like it when they talk about how Ash gets beat up. I'm like, imagine your whole company just constantly having fantasies about you getting beat up.
And don't worry, but please think about what you're doing. You know, there are some people that we all know.
Hold on, Alps. 501c3 401 is the retirement plan. Also, the IRS has a charitable organization search tool online. See, that's what I originally went to. When what you're talking about, that's where I looked for her, and I didn't see anything like you're not finding it right now. And that's why I'm thinking that she registered the LLC as a nonprofit. So here you can do that. You can like open up an LLC and then be like, I'm planning on this being a nonprofit. And you can register it as that. And then you get like a year. I'm assuming it would be like by the next tax. Like by the next time you do your taxes, you would then have to like apply and register with, here it's the Canada Revenue Agency, there it's the IRS, right? And then once that's done, then you're like in the system fully as a nonprofit, and it's with like in the US, the IRS, here Canada Revenue Agency. And like, depending on what grants you want to get, most places get that all done pretty quickly around the same time. I don't know if she knows that you have to register with the IRS too, though. So I'm thinking she's done it like halfway. and then just kind of like not finished it, which is why it's looking a little iffy to me. I'm not finding Ivy Mix or Ivy Mix City in there. Only donations to registered 501c3s are tax deductible. Right. Because the rest would be seen as just like a personal transfer. Like you're just sending someone $20, right? She's running a sham charity. There are a lot of those out there. Even legit charities will fail to keep up with their filing requirements and get their status revoked after a few years. Yeah, and this is what's kind of confusing because it sounds like this thing's been going since like 2021, but she didn't register it until 2023. So it's like, this is weird, you know? There's a lot where I'm like, I don't trust her charity at all. And yeah, like you said, I can't find it on the actual list that I usually go to in the US to look them up.
That are sharing this business. Look, I am not going to tell you what to do. That I'm just not. But you know, if somebody shares something with you and it's not unpassive, think twice, okay? If it was such a great thing, I'm here. I could go and share and bring in thousands of people. I know I can, but it's not unpassive. It wouldn't touch unpassive. Unpassive will change your life.
See, but do you know what though? You're actually right. This is a good example of the number of times that Marty has said, like, just listen to this last sentence. He must have said ONPASSIVE like 5 times. And see, so this is also kind of good for us to see that difference. Because that's our problem today, is that he doesn't even say it once anymore. And it used to come out of his mouth constantly, ONPASSIVE, on everything, ONPASSIVE, on, right? So it just goes to show you like how little they're saying it now.
Everything in the last 5-6 years, I want you to remember, I'm not going to say all the names, but think of all the businesses that popped up and a few people jumped in them and they invited a bunch. Where are they now? Where are they now?
Oh, this aged beautifully.
Of some of these businesses, okay? You can buy them at eBay. You go to the source code, go to the website, right click. Look where the domain's from and look where everything's coming from. That'll give you a clue. Okay? I'm not mentioning any names. Put the website up, right click, go to code source, read down the list. A really nice, robust website will go down and down and down and down. It'll be huge. Some of them are one page. And you can buy that script on eBay. I'm just telling you. Please be careful. I've spent thousands of hours because I believe so much in this company and I care. Papua New Guinea's got 10,000 people. And I'm talking to Papua New Guinea now too. Look, you're like family. I know things are bad. I get it. But, you know, when Moses took the people out of Egypt, it took 40 years to get to the promised land. Did you know in reality it's an 11-day trip?
Bet you didn't think building your online business would be this complicated. Yeah, this is the promised land one. Well, it doesn't have to.
Walk around in circles. Listen, why? Because if the reward is that great, it can't be easy to get to it. And it is that great. I believe that with all my heart. I believe more in it today than I did any other time I've been here. And contrary to what people think,
the struggle of the company does not legitimize the company in any way, shape, or form. It never will.
I'm struggling too. But I know I don't want a dime here and a nickel here and spend $1. Doesn't make sense. I want to change my life. I've never, ever, ever been in a company in 20 years, full time. I could go to any company right now and bring in 30,000 people, giving me, Mike, and Dan the time. Targeted people. I don't care which one it is. I promise you that. And I'm not leaving ONPASSIVE. In fact, any ideas I have where I can help other people in ONPASSIVE, like go a little quicker, I will. Dan will. Mike will. That's fact. I could go out and do it right now, make a few bucks. If I didn't care about people.
Okay, Marty, that's great and everything, but like this was supposed to be shining the light on Ivy Mix. It's not shining the light on how great Marty is and how much work he's done for ONPASSIVE.
I'd be out there now.
Like,
and I'm struggling just like everybody else.
What are you doing?
Don't believe everything you hear. If you don't believe me by now, then stop watching me. You've been wasting 6 years. I'm not getting something on the side, a little bit under the table. I'm getting nothing. But I know what I'm going to get because of the man we're following. I've never, ever, ever met a man like him. He hasn't changed. He's here. Any normal man.
To be fair, how often does Marty actually get out of the chair, though?
Normal, average person would have jumped ship a long time ago. From founders doing dumb things and now getting beat up on both ends. Come on. Standing tall throughout it all with Ash Mivara, like the sticker says. Please, please think about what you're doing. And I'm not bad-mouthing anybody. I'm not going to bad-mouth the company. But there's things you could look at very simple.
Spotify's new motto is "in it to win it." I just thought you might want to know.
Right-click on any website, look at the source code, find out where they're from. And if the CEO comes on and talks to you honestly and tells you and gives you facts of what's going on, okay.
But he's not.
But I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. And I look at all these shiny objects. Why? Because I know some people are going to jump in them. And I don't want them to get hurt. You're wasting your time. I'm just telling you. Anyway.
What happened to the bird, Marty?
I don't want to make it all doom and gloom. I'm sorry. Because I would only do this because this person's on, because this person will blow this up. All right. Well, I'm not being negative. I feel for people. I really do. Anyway, this, like I said, Ivy Nix is here. She is a superstar. She is she's just a bright, shining star. Helps everybody. Cares about everybody. So I'm sorry I did that stuff in the beginning. No, I'm not sorry. I meant it. Sorry. I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Anyway.
So this actually got a lot of people's attention as well. A lot of people watched this at the time. And they were like, oh my God, this Ivy lady is crazy. Because when this shining light came on, we had only seen her for maybe like 5 minutes at a time in the OTech Pros and the Heroes webinar. So this was the first time people really saw her kind of rant. And they were like, oh my, this woman is interesting.
Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Chris and he can introduce her. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. Good morning, Marty. I can add a lot more to what he said, but I won't. But I want to talk about this beautiful sister who we call Ivy Mix, who I've met through webinars. I've never met her personally. I know that she has a big heart. I know that she's helped people. I know that she helps people. I know that she's very well educated. Her faith is extremely strong, which I love. Everyone knows it. I say it every day.
Here's the thing. I don't think that Ivy Mix is running like a complete scam charity. I hope that they have done some of what they claim to have done, and it looks like they have based on the website we looked through. I'm just worried about the legalities and everything of it, and I'm not sure if it is the greatest organization. It's very like, oh, blessy. Which is, again, makes you wonder, because it's like, okay, but why would she need Obless then if she's doing her own thing? Instead of having Obless, why don't you just have Ivy Mix City? And then people could all just help her and Ivy Mix City give back. And you wouldn't have to wait for anything. You could start that up right now. But like, that's not what's happening. It's all just very, very sus.
And she's just an amazing lady who came onto the scene. And we were just talking to her. She says, I'm really not a talker, kind of shy. Her husband's the talker. And I'm like, wow, she could talk. And when she talks beautifully. I know.
It's weird from someone that apparently is becoming a spiritual leader. She doesn't talk. Her husband speaks for her.
Marty made some snippets of her and put them out there, and it fired a lot of people up. So on that note, Mr. Marty, can you bring Miss Ivy Mix on the camera?
Violet, like, she definitely did send clothes out to places. It appears that they have sent food. I'm just not sure if it's like on paper I don't know if she's running it how you should run it, and I'm a little worried about that. But I do still think that they have done some help, and we can see evidence of that. But it's like there's no place to donate. Like it's very weird. It looks like the only way you can send the money is if you buy one of those Disney shirts right now. Like, it's just kind of like if she could get it actually together, actually register it as a non-profit, and then do everything legally and buy the books and maybe have a donate area on the website, and then also like show us for real where the money's going, because we don't know how much money she's made for the last year and what money was donated that allowed her to go and do all of these things. Was it her, or was she partnering with another agency that like went and donated the clothes, but then said, oh yeah, this is from Ivy Mix too? Like there's a lot of things like that I'm wondering about. But the good news is, the silver lining is that it does appear that kids did get clothes, people did get food. It does appear that people were given 1,000 wheelchairs. Like, all of that, I don't want to take away from. And with her doing that, she is doing more to help than many of the other people we've seen in ONPASSIVE, right? It's just, again, you want to make sure if you're doing something like that and you really do want to run a nonprofit, that you do it all legally. And you make sure that your nonprofit is just as transparent as we would expect Ash's company to be. And I'm just not seeing that. So that's where my worry mainly is. But yeah, at least some people did get some help. She runs a charity that gives away the Super Bowl championship gear of the losing team.
There she is. Don't say nothing yet, Ivy, until you get your steer in the screen there. Ivy is not only beautiful, she's got a great personality, but she really has a humbled heart, and I love her for it. So Ivy Mix, the floor is yours.
All right.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. And I just wanted to say thank you to Maddie and Chris and the whole ONPASSIVE family. ONPASSIVE family is a great family. At times we forget our greatness. Your greatness.
Yeah, Ivy gets into like her background. She gets into who her dad is. You might want to know that her dad is actually an Olympian, apparently a very famous one. So I feel like watching this will really give us a good insight into who she is, truly, underneath the city, you know?
It starts from the day you are born. From the day ONPASSIVE was born. From the day each and everybody met Ash, that greatness was launched. So if you've forgotten the day you became great, apart from the day you were born, the day you were shown where you were going to. So I just want to thank God for letting me be part of this great nation. It's indeed a nation. My name is Ivy Mix, and at times I don't know what it is about my name. It's my name. It's not, somebody says, are you a DJ? Somebody says, do you sell drinks? It's my husband's name, trust me. And so many years I used to like wonder, why didn't you change your name? So the original name from his tribe is Michael. And the way they say Michael in his language is Mikush. So people kept on saying Mikush, 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 and it became Mix. So that's what is in the lineage of the family. So immediately I heard that name was originated from the
might be a
Michael.
green
I said, come on,
screen, Violet. I think it's a green screen.
That name.
Might not be though, but I think it is.
Because Michael is the one that fights our battles on God's behalf. So if you watch the Michaels in ONPASSIVE, they are dangerous. We have Mike Ellis and we have Michael Williams. There's something about that Michael. I said, no, I want it. So I'm so proud to carry that name. And it made it easy for me anytime I had to log in and log out. From Africa, I was born in London. How I ended up in London, talking about sports, my dad was an Olympic warrior. My dad ran the Commonwealth Games. We are British. We were colonized by the British. So the British has the Commonwealth, all the countries they have, excuse me to say, I wouldn't say colonized, but countries they've partnered with, because we have advanced in civilization. So we use very good words. So those countries always have what we call the Commonwealth Games. Now, my dad was a hero in that game. He was the #1 sprinter in Africa in the 40s and in the 50s, I think. I've forgotten, maybe the 50s. No, in the 50s. He used to run the 100-meter dash and the 200-meter dash. My dad was like people used to put bets on him in countries, and indeed he would win. So I think he had won a very critical race, pitted against another very fast runner. And when my dad won that race, the government of Ghana said it's either two ways. Either the British sponsored him to come and live in Britain in the 50s. In the 50s with my mom. So that is how I was born. So I was born in London, and my father was a runner, a winner until the day he died. So my dad, when he retired from running, he became the coach of the greatest football team in our country. It's called Asante Kotoko. Now, surprisingly, the token of that football team is the porcupine. And why did they call the porcupine? It says that ukum apima apimbeba, when you take out, you see those nails from the porcupine. As soon as some goes out, some comes back. They never say die. And that is what Ash means to me. 2 days ago, I was thinking about him. I said, my mom always sat me down and said, never say die until the bones are rotten. You never give up. And then my grandmother would say, can these bones live? So the bones can also live, because according to the Bible in Ezekiel, when God asked the prophet, can these bones live? The bones all came back together. So there's no giving up. There's no dying. There's no perishing in Onpassive. It makes me like this company. It makes me, I've been asked so many times. I said, when you have somebody who is leading you like that, there's no stopping. I was so scared to come on here because I said, what do I have to say about myself? I don't have anything to say because I've joined greatness, something greater than me. So that is how I was born, and in London. And then my family were family, like obviously they're traveling for the sports. My daddy had over, I think, 20 or 40 passports. My daddy was a winner. And Ash is a winner. My dad was a winner. That Olympic spirit that we are in now. And I will tell you a story too. He was invited by the Olympic Committee in 1994 to come to America for the Great 100th Olympic ceremony. So I lived in a city where he could come and take a plane. So I took him to the airport and I said, Dad, I will watch you when you are representing the country. You know how they go around the field. So I bought this big TV and I'm sitting in front of my TV waiting for my dad to pass on the TV, and I'll tell him, Dad, I saw you. 8 hours or maybe 12 hours after I had dropped him at the airport and I saw the airplane take off, I had a message from the Ministry of Sports that your dad is passed, he's dead. I said, no, it's not my dad. That's not my dad. My dad is going to the Olympics. I'm waiting to watch him on the TV. They said, no, you don't understand. He passed when he was passing from the plane, you know, when you disembark and you're in transit in Frankfurt. From Accra to Frankfurt, my dad passed in the on the way to the in transit. So here am I waiting for him to watch him 1994 Olympics. I had just had my daughter and I had told him that you come back and we find, I'm telling you, and then they brought back, instead of watching him on that field walking around, I met his coffin at the same place where I picked him up. So when I met a winner, because he was a winner, the morning of when he died, I took him to the track field. He ran 4 laps. That was his practice. And then he passed. So what am I bringing this out for? We are winners. We are winners. We can fight until the day we go down. He was in his element. He was on the way to the 1994 Olympics in Atlanta. We are on our way somewhere, guys. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to say that it's not going to work. This is not the time to say the dream is not going to be. It's going to be. And there's great things that I learned from Ash, which I'm a family girl, because we were brought up. My mom had eight kids.
And my mom was into my dad. So it was like all the time she needed was to be with my dad. So she made us very self-sufficient. So she was like, she would put strength in your heart. You go to my mom and say, well, mom, I think somebody doesn't like me. She would ask you, why does the person have to like you? What qualities do you have that the person should like about you? So what did that do? It made you look into yourself. Just like Jesus would say, look into yourself. Check yourself out first before you check your brother out. So I grew up knowing that the other person was valuable. The other person, we should not bring the other person down. I grew up in a family where my grandma, I had taken her to a village to go and buy glasses for her because she could not see. And she was hungry. So I went to look for bread for her. When I gave her the bread, I gave it to her and I just went back to get some water. When I came back, the whole loaf of bread was gone. I said, you couldn't have eaten that bread in 2 minutes? She said, I gave it to people who needed it. That woman had a baby and the baby was hungry. And I gave it to that baby. I was like, before I was taken aback, I was not happy about it. But I was thinking a 19-year-old woman forgetting her own hunger and giving it. Isn't that what Ash is? Forgetting himself. Isn't that what we are taught in the Bible? Forget ourselves and do for others. Another great thing Ash did. I'm telling you, I'm somebody who, like I said, I don't talk on my own. Like I'm a very quiet, ultra quiet person, you know. But on my own, I'll just be observing things. So we are built from our family. One day, he said he had gone to a place in Florida, and his children were helping feed some people in a car park or something like that. He talked about how he and his wife had to go.
I'm having so much trouble following her stories. I feel like she's told me 7 different stories in the last like 10 minutes.
Hell, I remember it very well. Ash, you're right on track. My dad used to stand. We had an industrial laundry, and he used to stand on the top of that laundry, and all the mad men, when I say mad men, lunatics in that city, will come to him, and he'll give everybody $1, let's say $1, that equivalent, to feed them for the day.
Wow.
And I saw him do that. And I used to think, I don't think these people are mad, because if they know every day to find their way to where their bread is, then their brains were working. These were stark, raving lunatics. But what lesson did it teach me that I attribute to Ash? At that young age, about maybe 16 years old, because for over 20 years, I saw my dad doing that. So it's so automatic to help the needy. So when Ash was helping with his children and they were feeding the needy, I said, these children are made for life. That's how you learn. Giving is not easy. We have billionaires that cannot give. But when you can pass it on generationally, then you're somebody worthy of emulation. Thank you for that example. It's always in my heart. And I just want to say, brothers and sisters, when we come on, let's listen to Ash's heart.
Violet.
Scientists have found out that there is a brain in the heart. There's a brain in the heart. You talk to a woman, give the woman.
There's a brain in the heart. Okay, her dad was a famous Olympian in the 1950s in the UK, but he's not in the 100th ceremony because he passed away on his way to the ceremony. And he used to hand out dollars to people so that they could feed their family for a day. And I guess she says that's where she gets her giving spirit from. I'm assuming that's why she was telling us all of that. But now we're talking about how there's a brain in hearts. And allegedly us women's are supposed to know something about this. And I'm not feeling too confident as a woman that I'm going to know what the hell she's talking about in a couple minutes. I'm kind of like, I don't know, Ivy. Maybe only some women, because I don't know what the fuck that means at all. Like, the children are still hungry. It's true.
Woman, a whole house, and then you don't hug her or remember her anniversary. She has cause to say that I don't want you anymore. Why? That heart in the brain was not activated. The heart in the brain is a different heart, a real heart. And when it connects to the heart up here, I'm telling you, great things happen. What did Ash say? He says the company with a heart. He said it many times. And those.
Wait, so our heart, women have a brain in their heart because a woman will stop loving a man when he's an asshole? What? And this all has to do with ONPASSIVE AI with heart. I'm assuming she's gonna make it come back around. Lord, this is almost similar to the first rant we watched.
Those are my pointers. I'll just be looking at those things. He said a company with a heart. That is a brain connected to the heart, a brain connected to the company, a brain connected to AI.
In less than 24 hours, you will have $1,000 in your account, and then $1,000 daily.
What if the person that created this company doesn't have a brain and everything is based off of him? Then what? But I think most people that know about OnPassive could agree that, Ash isn't really the most intelligent man in the room. So I don't even know what this means. You have a brain in your heart. Like she knows that you can love and think at the same time, right? Even her example. I'm like, well, if a woman wants to leave her husband because he's being an asshole to her, that doesn't mean that her heart has all of a sudden gotten a brain. It just means that now she's listening to her brain more than her heart. If anything, that has more to do with our ears and what we listen to. I'm kind of I still don't understand. But, all right, explain to us what this has to do with OnPassive.
The Bible says, taste and see what is good. The Bible says...
No, Ivy, I didn't say the Bible and God. I said Ash and OnPassive. The Bible. Yeah, back when the Bible was like, and then I gave it Eve a brain heart. And I give it Adam just a heart. Because you know how the Bible was all about giving women everything over men. Yeah, no, for sure.
It's not a heart burn within us. When somebody is talking to you and the person is speaking truth, the person is speaking power, like he did this Wednesday, my heart was burning within me. I called friends of mine. I said the original Ash is back. The original Ash, our heart was burning within us. Your heart...
They act like what is this original Ash? I don't see a change in Ash from when I started watching him to today, other than the fact that if anything, he doesn't share his screen as much as he used to. But the way he talks and what he talks about is the exact same. It's literally the exact same. We could play a game of when did Ash say this? And we would all lose. We would all lose because you could play Ash to me, one of his speeches from 2020, you could play to me today, and you could tell me it was from yesterday, and I would believe you. Because it's just literally the same thing, just on repeat. I don't see this difference in Ash at all over the past few years. The recovering Hunbot. Why is she screaming? I know. She's very, very passionate as a minister, doctor of divinity. Which I want to send you some stuff after I'm done this on Discord and get your thoughts on her Masters of Divinity. Actually, I'd be interested to see what you have to say about it. But they talk about Ash, Ash was one way when the company started. and then now he's a different, or I guess there was a different way after that, and then now he's back to his original self. She's talking to you oh, he's back to the original Ash. And I'm I think it's just Ash. He's been the same person this whole time. Same guy that pocketed $108 million. What has changed about his personality? I don't even feel like he learns from mistakes. I can't even be the man's growing and learn. I feel like he learns how to be more sneaky. He finds more legal loopholes, maybe. But other than that, like I always have such a hard time with this idea that, and it goes along with the whole he took back the company thing, right? It's the same with that. It's like the company has been the same this whole time. So there is no real like take back the company. Like you set it up that way. Like it's not like Ash set up ONPASSIVE Technologies LLC and then was like, geez, how did Muhammad Kamal get ownership of this? Like he's the one that was like, I want to put this one in your name. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I don't understand. It's like you can only steal what he was given. Even if you want to say Muhammad Kamal took off with half the company and ran away with it, that's because Ash literally signed his name on everything. Said this all belongs to Muhammad Kamal, you know? So it's like that's still Ash's mistake. It's like, so there is no like taking back the company because it was never fully his anyway from the start. Hasn't been in ages. The second he decided to expand it, he technically started putting it in other people's names elsewhere. Like, you know? So I'm like, what is this change that they keep seeing in him? Because we went through this with them. And we've been reacting to Ash throughout the last 3 years. Right? And it's like, during this alleged hard time, they never brought up that it was a hard time. So if you were to like go back to my early ONPASSIVE content and you were to watch it from start to finish, which I don't recommend doing, you will have an aneurysm. If you do it very slowly. You would be kind of like watching this company unfold. And same with the Recovering Hunbot. If you did it on her channel, you'd be watching the company kind of unfold before our eyes. Get created right in front of us. You would watch all the cultiness kind of get worse and worse as time goes on. You'd be watching and everything is always perfect, happy. It's all about to happen. All these dreams and everything's always planned out, right? You would have no clue that from September 2023 until now, they were allegedly having all these issues. Okay, because they're all happy. They're all talking the same. Ash is coming on saying the exact same speech over and over again, as he always does. And then all of a sudden, last year, midway through the year, it's like they all of a sudden were like, oh yeah, we've been struggling for like this whole past year. Things have been awful. And then all of a sudden Susie and everyone's going, oh, well, we noticed such a change in Ash. And like the rest of us are going, what? When? How? You never let on anything was really wrong. And the O founders acted, like I said, you'd see no difference in their behavior or their talking points or any of their emotions during, like none of it. It would all be the same. So it was like all of a sudden, Ash had to take back the company and there was all this awful stuff that was going on for ages. And then all of a sudden, they had seen all these changes in him and things weren't the same this past year. And they all knew that something bad was going on. The Recovering Hunbot is streaming later, so I'll share that out when you post it up. But you'd be so confused because you'd be like, where did this all come from? And like, although we knew stuff was going on and we tried to let you guys know what we could, I even kind of tried to prepare you guys for like when the new company was coming. As I said, I opened up something new. I said it one time a few months ago on a stream. Like I tried to like hint at you guys. But other than that, like you wouldn't have known anything was going on. And so when they come on here and they talk like this, it's just, it floors me. Like, I have no clue what they're talking about. Like, I'm like, Ash is the exact same person he always was. We just hear from him less now. So now he seems like he is more organized. And like when he comes on, he has more of a plan and he knows what he's talking about. It's more like scripted like. I don't think it actually is scripted, but it seems more scripted than, like, of course, the live streams where he would come on and ramble on for 5 hours. Because this last year, when he's been coming on, he's only been on for like an hour and a half tops. And that includes people asking questions. So he's just not talking as much. And because of that, it seems like he's more organized and put together, but it's just, really, we're just getting less of him. So we don't see him in all of his glory. And it's like, but he's still the same person. Like, there is no, like, different versions of Ash that we really see. The only versions of Ash that there really are that we see is the professional, I want to act like an actual CEO Ash, and then the relaxed, I'm now joking with the boys kind of Ash that you see sometimes when he comes on with Marty and Chris, and he's a bit more relaxed. And again, we used to see that a lot more in those 5-hour-long live streams. And I don't really miss them because he would always say something inappropriate too during them, usually a few times. So, like, I'm still trying to figure out if they actually did see a change in him and just none of them said anything until he was willing to admit that things were wrong, or if they're just like rewriting history now to make it seem like they knew what was going on. I just find it just fascinating and bizarre.
Speaks, and he speaks to our heart more than your pocket. Listen to his heart, listen to his mind. Great pointers. And the Bible says that the people who...
The thing is, he's trying to emotionally manipulate you. So yeah, he knows that if he just came on here and said, I was making this thing so that I could pocket a bunch of money and be rich, you guys would probably not create a whole movement surrounding that and it. But if he comes on here and he says, oh, I'm saving humanity, then maybe you will be willing to reach into your wallet for that. You know, like Joe says, his heart is his wallet. When he reaches into his pocket, he grabs his heart.
Sat in darkness, saw a great light. Why am I so full of faith? My grandma, when she was 6, she started being spiritual. She departed from the Presbyterian church, and then she was now Pentecostal. Do you know, many years, she used to walk up and down all the streets spreading the gospel. In those days, a woman. So there's nothing unusual about doing something unusual. Be unusual. Let Onpassive be.
I mean, if that's true, then she is pretty fabulous. Because, yeah, in those days, and even now, you don't see that from women as often, right?
Unusual in your life. Let them talk about it. She was marching up and down. Now, what did it do? It instilled God in me. Up till now, in the midnight, no matter how tired I am, I'll be getting up to pray and read the Bible 2 hours a day.
I mean, that's how it usually works, though, is if you grow up in a very religious family, you yourself will probably be religious, and your family may also carry on that religion. A lot of us grow up and we kind of end up with the same belief system as our parents. It's just a lot of us go through life experiences that makes us maybe question that. And that's kind of the start of how you learn and grow as a person, actually, in psychology. The start of you kind of discovering yourself is questioning your parents and why you are the way that you are, and kind of realizing that you're kind of a product of your parents, and then kind of questioning the values, the beliefs, the morals they've instilled in you, and sort of finding your own, if you will. Because you find out as you grow up that your parents may have been really fabulous, but they weren't perfect. And maybe they have some outdated beliefs that you need to like upgrade with yourself. For example, you see that a lot with political beliefs and even with religion. There's a lot of people that grow up religious, and then when they attend college, they end up looking into atheism. They open up, start studying all the religions, realize that there's so many different ones, and they all say that they have the God. And oftentimes that gets people's minds thinking, going, that's weird. So then maybe they look into it. Some of them might come to the conclusion that they still want to be religious, and many don't. Many go, I don't like this. It's too many of them. Everyone says they know what's going on. Maybe it's not real. Or they come up with another reason. And teenagers rebel against their parents. A lot of people think that that is the first time that you as a human in psychology kind of give it back to your parents and start rediscovering yourself. Because being a rebellious teenager is actually a very big part of psychological human development. Like you're supposed to have kind of a rebellious phase. Some are bigger than others, and for some people, maybe their rebellious phase might have just been them, I don't know, listening to a Marilyn Manson or something, like, you know. But for other people, it could have been like hijacking cars or something, you know. It looks different for everyone, but a lot of psychologists believe that that's kind of the first time that you kind of push back on your parents and then question if they actually know what's best. So that's pretty normal. But again, I feel like when I'm watching a lot of the people in ONPASSIVE, they may have been lacking some of these experiences in their life that would put them in a situation where they would maybe have to question some things, or maybe they're discovering themselves. And I feel like if you're doing a lot of your self-discovery through multi-level marketing schemes, and you start that really young as well, that's going to hinder your growth and development as a person. Hustle culture is all about like toxic positivity, invalidating your emotions, and etc. And you cannot grow and learn as a person when you're in an environment like that. Like it doesn't work, you know? So I often wonder if the people in ONPASSIVE are kind of stunted in their growth in a way, and if maybe that has something to do with it. It looks like Ivy's always kind of had her own business from home, as we saw. And so I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe she's never had life experiences that have made her question things. Not that there's anything wrong with like seeing your father be successful and then wanting to be successful yourself, or seeing your grandmother preaching the Bible and wanting to be a minister. Like, nothing's wrong with that. But again, when you're in a culty scam like this and your worldview is so warped, as we're finding out a lot of their worldviews are very bizarre, it just makes me question, you know, is she still in that phase of trying to be who her parents were and who her family is, and she never stepped outside of that like most of us do. Did she shine yet? No, not really. My rebellious stage was when I adopted the bow and arrow to hunt rather than the club. That just sounds like intelligence, though. I would have much rather gone hunting at that age than gone to the club.
We pray for everybody. We pray for Ash. There's some of us who can stand. If you've been trained to do something, you you exercise it. If I've been trained to pray by reason of my upbringing, I'm going to stand in it. If I've been trained to be a winner by reason of my dad, I'll instill it in everybody. We all have to be winners. This Olympics, just like Michael Williams.
Oh, you guys called it. Her dad was an Olympian, so now she's just automatically a winner. And ONPASSIVE says, in it to win it. So she's like, I found my place.
Hey, look at the relay. It's a team effort. I'll tell you a funny story. When my dad comes, my dad used to train this great football team in my country. When they lose, do you know what happens? My mom would say, they lost, so everybody, my mom would say, oh, well, he's coming home. When he gets home, everybody will be in their rooms. Nobody would say anything to him, would hide.
Why?
So one day I told my mom, I said, why do we have to hide when the team lost? Why don't we go and comfort him?
Yeah. That's weird. It would be so weird if I came home and then my husband was like, I made sure Hannah was in her room for when you came home because you would be upset about losing. Like, that wouldn't even really be a thing. Like, go to your room, your dad's gonna be upset. I don't know that world. I grew up being sent down to keep my drunk mother calm when I was like 12 years old, and she was ranting and raving because my dad didn't want to deal with her, but I could somehow keep her calm. So I'm over here like, wait, maybe that is protection when you get your kid to go hide in the room instead. Maybe I'm the one with the warped view. But I'm trying to like picture, like, the only way I feel like that makes sense is if I would do that if I was scared that my husband would like hurt my daughter, which would never be the case. So yeah, that is weird. I do want to know more about that, Ivy.
Then my mom said something to me. She said silence is golden. She says the time when the person is struggling most, at times we have to keep quiet.
What?
And then when I look at ONPASSIVE, when we have this storm, this is not the time to be asking what is going on. Why didn't they tell me this? Why didn't they send an email? Why is it? No, this is the time for silence. Silence is.
No, I don't like this. I don't like this. That's not always the case. There are some people that need to be alone to calm down first, maybe. But that's weird. And I hate how she's tied this now to don't bug Ash about when this is launching. Like, did you have to stay in your room for 7 years so that your dad could just be upset out in the living room for as long as he wanted until he felt like giving up? I don't think so. So how is this a comparison? Like, oh, to be silent, guys. Ash is going through a lot, so don't ask him any questions. Well, I'm sorry, then maybe he shouldn't be trying to run this fucking pyramid scheme. Like, if he's going through so much and he's just like so delicate of a man that you can't even ask him when his company's launching that he's been running for 7 years as someone that bought into it. Otherwise, he's going to like snap at you. Like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And he shouldn't be running the company then. Let somebody run the company who can deal with the questions and answer them properly. Lord, hire a PR team or something.
This is golden. Silence is power. Silence heals. This is the time we stand with our Ash in power and in silence. I understood it after many years.
Genome is your launch pad to explore your unique DNA and access detailed reports and insights.
I just want to say thank you for this great day. I don't know if I was shaking when I was coming. I was telling, yesterday I was sick in the night. I almost did not come. I said, Chris, I don't want to say anything. I don't know anything about myself. Okay, another thing I can say about myself now is can you believe it? I was in a convent. My parents put me.
Ash is inside all of us. Yeah, she was in a convent.
In a Catholic convent. This spirituality is not going to depart from me. They put me in a convent. So that's how I know Mamadu's country. Because my parents had gone there and I went to a convent and I was living with the nuns.
Oh my.
And then every time in class,
but that's
I don't know why I was being picked on, just like Chris does.
Isn't that just Catholics?
It's like, you have to say something. I said, I'm shy, I'm scared. They say, no, you have to say something. Do you know, I was so shy and afraid that when all the other kids were praying, I'll be reading. I read over, I don't know how many books I've read. It's beyond your imagination. It got to a point, even in my adult age, I read 100 pages every day on every kind of subject. It was because of that reserve, because.
Okay, it says that Hinduism, Taoism, and Buddhism also have nuns. But you were in the UK at that time. And I feel like if you're talking about nuns and you're in London, then it would be Catholic church. But then you said you weren't Catholic. You were Protestant, Presbyterian. I'm just very confused.
Of that, you don't want to talk.
But I'm kind of like, why would you then be sent to go live with Catholic nuns? Like, what?
For that, oh, you can talk. No, I had to think. So these nuns would pull me to the class. Ivy, read, Ivy, talk. Then do you know what happened when I got to high school? We had something from, I don't know if it was United Nations or somebody from a great international agency that came, and they said the person was coming to speak, and you know the person did not come. So here's me, I'm just there. I always go like I do to every webinar to support, to give strength. I don't go to speak. So here am I sitting quietly in my corner, and then all my classmates pulled me forward. Ivy, we want you to speak. We want you to lead this thing. Then I started just talking. And then it was like, I don't know. Just being scared, but just being real. Then I remembered my grandfather. He says, anytime you can connect your heart to your mouth, to your brain, to your brain and to your mouth, you will say the right thing. Brothers and sisters.
You connect your heart to your brain and your mouth, and then you'll say the right thing. Yes, because your heart is just floating around in your body. It's not connected to anything.
Your heart is precious. From time to time, just touch your heart. Just touch your heart. God gave it to us. God said our hands heal. We shall.
So you grew up Presbyterian and you lived in London. And then later on in life, you said that you guys became Protestant. So when were you sent to live with the nuns? Because then it sounds like you're talking about like public school with the nuns. You grew up Presbyterian. I know that Protestants have nuns other than Catholics. So were you in like high school? I'm trying to do this woman's life. And I'm like, okay. So your family's from Africa, but you were born in London, and you were Presbyterians until later. But you were sent to go to I guess it would be like, but then that's where I'm confused, because then it would be Catholic school with nuns for the most part, wouldn't it, in London? Back in like the 60s and 70s. And then after that, I guess, is when you would have gone to school, like we saw on your LinkedIn, and then done drama, which I'm also wondering about. Because you say you grew up your whole life wanting to like get into being some kind of preacher or in a ministry or helping with religion, but the first thing you went to school with was theater. And like you talk about how you don't like speaking in front of crowds and how the nuns had to force you to speak. But then you went to drama school. And as someone that's literally done drama school my entire life, like when I was in public school, I was doing drama school clubs after school and stuff. In high school, I took drama. I have graced the Grand Theater stage in Kingston many a times in both plays and in dance. So I'm having a hard time because I love public speaking. Okay? In public school, speeches used to be my favorite time. It was awesome. I got to go write an entire 3-minute speech, and then I got to take over a whole room for 3 minutes at the front of the class and entertain them. It was amazing. I loved it. And that's probably how I got into my love for drama. Because we started doing those speeches in grade 4, and I started drama school when I was 10. So yeah. But so I'm just thinking I loved it. I wanted to get really good at it. I was a shy kid, but I really wanted to get good at that because I love to write. I, for some reason, love to be on stage and perform, even though I was shy. But so that's why I got into it. And I'm if I was a shy kid and I hated speaking publicly in front of my class and the teacher had to force me to do it, I don't think I would have wanted to get into drama. That wouldn't have been my choice. And it's weird because at the beginning of this, Chris also brings up how she doesn't like to speak. You know? I thought I was shy, but I found out that it was just my trauma response when I was a kid. I just didn't trust anyone. So when I first met them, I didn't talk to them till I figured them out. So it wasn't actually me being shy. But I mean, at the time, yeah, I would have been considered kind of a shyer kid. But I did love doing that. And so I went all in with it. And now here I am on YouTube. Look at me go. But I'm having a hard time because I'm trying to think of her life and put myself in her shoes and find some empathy with this woman and some common ground. And I thought I did with the drama stuff. But then the way she's talking, it's she hates speaking in front of people. Why would you then go right into drama after high school then? That seems like a weird choice. And then Chris is oh, she says she doesn't like to speak. And I'm this is weird. This is weird. Is anything about this woman true? Is she just lying to us to do these speeches? I'm starting to wonder. You're a shy boy? Yeah, okay.
Lay your hands on the sick and they shall recover. Lay your hands on your heart. Any hurt, any pain in it will go. Anything that you don't understand, let your heart speak to you. Let your heart tell you that this thing that we're following, we haven't followed cunningly devised fables like the Bible will say. This is not a story. This is a reality. And in closing,
we keep referring to the Bible, and it's a collection of stories. So forgive me for not realizing that we were talking reality.
My great Ash, I remember right now, as I am in school, my teacher came, a professor. He said he was the one that helped revamp IBM. And they paid $100 million to the person who was in charge. Then they said, what did he do? He said he needed $100 million to let people believe in him. And then the most important thing out of this conversation was they found ways to get plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. Weird. So that is what carried this great company on. Then I said, well, they didn't pay my Ash to do that. Ash said he had a plan A, he had a plan B. Sometime he came back and he told us this is not all. He always has another plan for us. We don't have to pay him for that. He always has a plan A, plan B, plan. He has plans. So do you know what? Somebody like that, you can lay your life on him. You can go to rest. On Wednesday, he said he is working for us. He went back to that. And I was thinking, if they are paying 100 million for people to just do plan A, plan B, plan C, my CEO did it on his own.
Students with ADHD save 10 hours studying with this
I
Chrome
don't know if
extension.
that's how
But
it
no,
went.
by all means.
This is a great company to be in. Just thinking about myself and what to say, just shaking and just depending on my two corners, Chris and Marty. I cannot say thank you enough. So here am I. My background is a lot and it's great. It's full of stories, but I just want to say thank you to Marty. Thank you to Chris. And I just love everybody in ONPASSIVE. And this is a company with a heart. And day in, day out, I'll just give my time and my life to them. Thank you.
Well. And you were nervous.
I got to get the fire extinguisher. Hold on now. I'll be right back.
I didn't know that about your father. That's a really cool story I didn't know nothing about. I love that. I love that you come from a winning family, a supportive family. A lot of the stuff you talk about is always about the Bible and God, which of course I love. That's me. That's you. I know that. And I know that you have strived yourself in getting as much education as you can in that brain. You talked about how many books, you wouldn't believe how many books I've read, and the smartest people in the world that I know of read constantly every single day. And I'm talking to one of them, not two of them, just one of them right now. I know I'm just joking, Marty. But Ivy, you were fantastic. A lot of really great comments in here. You definitely showed your spirit, your love for ONPASSIVE, and what Ashmafar is trying to doing for all of us. And I loved it. So Ivy Mix, I want to thank you very much. Marty?
Ivy, what am I going to do with you? Nothing. No, hearing your past now makes sense why you are who you are. Because the journey that we take in life is who we are today, right? And you got the best from your father. He'd be proud of you. I haven't met him, but I know, looking at you now, he would be very proud. I am. And I'm so glad you came. You have, and you're going to inspire many people. You've said really important things about when Ash comes on, listen to what he's saying from here. People get too wrapped up in what they want to hear. Listen to what he's saying. And you're right. I'm here because of Ash's heart, because he's honest, and I believe in it. I believe in him. I believe in the journey. I'm not going anywhere, just like you, Ivy. And together, one drop of water doesn't do much, but with all of us, we make an ocean. So thank you very much. I want to say that. Thank you for coming. Any closing goodbyes or anything from anyone?
Ivy, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to Ash. We love you unconditionally. And also we love ONPASSIVE. And I also want to say that we know there was a setback, but there's going to be a comeback. And I know you're going to surprise us. Every day I tell myself, Ash is going to surprise us. Don't worry. So we're in for a good surprise, a beautiful surprise.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like I said, Ivy, I like what you just said there. Consider us the underdog. Underdogs always come back, and they win Super Bowls. They win World Series. This one is going to win the world over. Ashmafar has gone above and beyond. And I know Marty talked a little bit about it in the beginning. Stay patient. Patience is what built this world. Patience is what built amazing people. And stay patient. New stuff coming soon. My opinion is what Ash is going to talk about. And you'll be all blown away. But really don't chase other things. This is why you were all here in the first place, because you guys chased, not me, I could say that. You guys chased every shiny object out there, and you came into ONPASSIVE. And we're not a shiny object. We're something that's real. It's lovable. It's believable. It's a heart, like Ivy says and Ash says. So be strong. If you are doing things that you shouldn't be doing, I would just stop. I mean, that's my opinion. I do get a lot of messages from things that people are saying or doing. And I ask, listen to your brother, Ashmafar. Don't run away. Okay, I'm going to say one name. Punk Panda. Where the hell is that? Right? You guys all jumped on Punk Panda, and boom, a month later, we don't hear about it. So that's what I'm saying. When you jump on these other objects, they're going to promise you the world. Ash has never promised you the world. He just said dream bigger. Hang tight to what he says. Okay? I don't need to have people sending me messages, and they're not always so nice. I believe in Ashmafar. I know Ivy does. I know Marty does. And just hang in there. Because, listen, if you don't believe in something, you got nothing. And I believe in him 100% like all of us. All right, Marty, I'm done. Back to you. Ivy, appreciate you. I love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love you, Ivy. Chris, I have to deal with you. So anyway, goodbye.
All
This
right.
is hands down.
So that's it for the shining the light with Ivy Mix. I just want to say what she brought up is the $100 million partnership with IBM and the global universities to develop novel technologies towards a 100,000 qubit quantum centric supercomputer. Landmark 10-year partnerships with the University of Tokyo and the University of Chicago to develop a new paradigm of high-performance computing. IBM Quantum milestones to lay foundation for integration of large-scale classical and quantum systems. Collaborations will develop detailed blueprint to pioneer quantum-centric supercomputing. And there is a System 2, IBM Quantum System 2. And so this being brought up in comparison to founders buying in with OnPassive for $97 and then Ashmu Farah pocketing $108 million for himself is a little bit insulting. Again, these partnerships are over a decade long, and IBM has been around. When did IBM start? Let's look at IBM created what year? 1911. All right. It was created June 16th, 1911. So it's a company that's been around for over 100 years working in the industry. In other words, they're a trusted company already that has partnerships with things in technology already. They've been building technology since 1911, okay? So they have the trust to get this kind of partnership, all right? It's not at all the same as Ashmu Farah creating a company, having it in pre-launch for 7 years, and then going, I'm going to take over the internet. And it's not the same. There is no way that after OnPassive or on Fusion T launches, they would ever get $100 million partnership with anyone. All right, there's a reason for this partnership. They want to build a supercomputer. And I believe this news came out back in like, Lord, 2023 or something. So it's been a while. And to be fair, the shining the light was a while ago. But like, there is no comparison to OnPassive on Fusion T and IBM. There is no comparison to this partnership and founders buying into OnPassive. Completely different situations. I don't know why she's bringing this up and claiming that her professor told her about this, as if Ivy Mix City would also be able to ever get something like this. It won't. So I just wanted it to be known what she was talking about, because they do things like this all the time. And it's like, no, that's a completely different situation. All right. They also have had products this whole time. It's not some brand new company with some CEOs being sued already by the SEC with no products showing up. And like, this is why I get so angry too, when they talk about how other companies are scared of them. It's like, do you think IBM is scared of you? They've been around for 100 years longer than you have, working in this industry. You don't have anything on these people. None of them. It's like, it's not going to happen. You're never going to catch up. Ever. Ever. And it's like right now, Canada's putting in $100 million to go towards like AI and technology and whatnot. Will any of that money go towards OnPassive? No. Not 1 cent. It's going to go to other companies that are already trusted in this industry, that already have products and have been working in the industry for ages. And that's not because corporate America is like corrupt and they're trying to take down ONPASSIVE. It's because when you're investing that amount, you want to make sure you're investing it in a company that it makes sense to invest it with. It would make no sense for the Canadian government to give $100 million to Ash Mufara and ONPASSIVE. He already pocketed $108 million. Why the fuck would we do that? And it's like they don't understand. You have to be a well-known company in the industry before you'll ever get even looked at for something like this. It's not that IBM's trying to stop you. They don't know you exist, you know? And this comparison makes me mad. So I just had to bring that up because they keep doing comparisons like this. Like Marty and Chris will be like, oh, and then Apple, they just released some AI and it's really great. So because of that, that means ONPASSIVE'S will be really great. No! Apple's a household name. So when they release a product, people actually do flock to it. I know you think that ONPASSIVE is a household name because you have a collection of co-founders who all know what it is, but that's not what that means. Being a household name means that you're well known in the public. And in the public, you're a giant scam. Literally a giant scam. That's all you are to the public. The only people that think ONPASSIVE is good are the people that are in ONPASSIVE. Everyone else has either never heard of you or they think you're a scam. So it's like just these comparisons just blow my mind. They blow my mind, I say. Mr. Level says ONPASSIVE has no white paper, no tech documents, no real investors, nothing. Exactly. It's like they're going to go for a company that's actually legitimate, not one that's being sued by the SEC for unregistered securities, misappropriation of funds, and accused of running a fraudulent pyramid scheme. Right? You know? Chris seems delirious. He does. I had someone ask when I realized ONPASSIVE was a scam, and you're like, the first time I ever heard the name. I got introduced to ONPASSIVE through the Recovering Hunbot. She wrote me and she said, and I was deep diving Love Has Won a lot at the time. And she said, I think I came across a new MLM company, but as I'm looking into it more and more, and I've done a couple streams on it, I kind of think it's a cult. I think it's just a full-on cult. Do you want to come on and I'll show it to you and then you just give me your opinion? And I watched like one song and listened to Ash talk for like 10 minutes and watched how they all conversed with him. And I was like, whoa, yeah, what is this thing that you found? This is insane. Even crypto exchanges sued by the SEC have more documentation and credentials than ONPASSIVE. Not wrong. Many do. You're not wrong. And that's the thing. And it's like the O-founders, they don't understand that. Hi, Sam. We're actually just finishing up. You're 3.5 hours late. But it's okay because the Recovering Hunbot is going to go live tonight, she said. So hopefully she'll be live soon. That's Ivy Mix. That is everything, almost everything that I can show you about her. There's some other videos about Mix City that we could go through. But that's all I can really show you today. I got to get going. It's ended up being a little longer than I thought, but I'm glad we did it today. There should be a Friday with my Sayers of Day tomorrow. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. I will post it up hopefully early in the morning so that you guys know when it will be. It might be an evening stream. So I'm just letting you know it's probably going to be in the evening. So yeah, that will be tomorrow night. Stay tuned to the community tab for that. Ivy's Shining the Sham was fairly normal compared to Dina's. It was. Dina's was, that was intense. That was an intense one. It really was. Ivy really went off the deep end after this. Yeah, it appears that she's getting worse with her rants, and I still can't really figure out why. I don't know what's going on, but now we know who she is a little bit more, and that's fascinating. I like to see who people are and how they got here. Still a little iffy about her charity and about her schooling, but hey, I showed you guys what I know and what I could find, and if I find any more in future, I'll let you know. I hope that all of you have a fabulous, amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow for Friday with my sayers and nay. I love all of your faces, so hopefully I see you over at the Recovering Hunbots. Have a good night. Mwah! Bye!
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's a call. Hey.
And I'm your friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. And it breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or sighing, or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was Screaming at Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the questions about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them all morning long. It's not the answer you want, but
yeah.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
All right, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune in to Crazy and talking about their experiences.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
And I'm your friend.
Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own YouTube channel. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's down there.
My name is Ash Mufar, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.